once more. I'm going to say we're sorry for the late start, but if we look around, the weather hasn't done us justice. We were here earlier. We're going to take responsibility for it, but we're going to start. And whoever comes, by the grace of God, will just join in and we'll just flow as we go. Thank you for taking your time. I know it's very valuable, but you decided to spend it here today with us. I'm going to introduce the MC for today. She doubles as our moderator. She is a person that is not defined by what we want her to be defined. She is defined by who God says she is. And she knows it. And the majority of us do know it. This would not have been possible without her bowing her head down to God and praying. That says that the effectual prayer of a righteous woman availeth much. Today I'm going to please introduce to you nobody but the head girl, the vision bearer, the kingdom woman, the amazing friend, the amazing mother, the amazing sister. That is no other but Mama Adeline Fumajong Ijang.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Again, we want to apologize for the late start. It's just because we wanted to tarry to see whether some more people can come. The moment I saw the snow, I was like, we're not going to get everybody here, but God will help us. Because if you are like me, when it snows, I don't want to get out of the house or out of my PJ. I'm just going to ask that if there is a seat in front of you, please move. If there is a seat in front of you, just move one seat ahead, please. And thank you. I would just ask Pastor Denise, please come bless the hall and just bless everybody.
Thank you so much, Adeline, and welcome everybody. Let's ask the Lord's blessing as we start. Oh God, you are the creator of all things, beautiful. You are the creator of the cosmos, the creator of our world, the creator of humans in all our diversity. And what you make is beautiful and good. And we bless your name. We thank you for the gift of life. We thank you that you have brought us together to learn from each other and to learn from you. And we ask that you would come, Holy Spirit, and fill this hall today. Give us ears to hear you and ears to hear one another. Give us a vision for the way that we can live together and help our sisters and brothers around us who are not here today to live well together as humans, honoring you. We pray it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you so much, Pastor Denise. Again, I want to welcome each and every one of us here to our multicultural event. And we want to, before we go ahead, I will introduce you to the president of the Canada Virtuous Women, who will be giving us the welcome address for tonight, and then we can proceed to give you a rundown of the program. And so the president of the Canada Virtuous Women is also a co-founder of the Canada Virtuous Women. It is true that I am the head girl, I am the founder, but there is a president, I am the executive director. And so tonight I want to introduce you to the president of the Canada Virtuous Women, Ms. Adeline Akwa Acho. Please come to the stage.
Good afternoon, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family. Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. It is with great honor and deep gratitude that I welcome you to all these special gatherings hosted by the Canada Virtuous Women, CAVIWO. C'est avec un grand honneur et une profonde gratitude que je vous souhaite la bienvenue à cette rencontre spéciale organisée par Canada Virtuous Women, CAVIWO. Before we begin, let's take a moment to recognize the land on which we are. Ottawa is built on the unceded territory of the Anishinaabe Algonquin Nation, whose people have stewarded this land for millennia. Their presence, culture, and contributions continue to nurture this land and its people. We also extend our recognition to all the First Nations, Inuits, and Métis people, whose rich histories, traditions, and enduring resilience are deeply woven in the fabric of this nation. The city of Ottawa honors their past and present contributions, and as we gather today, we do so in the spirit of mutual respect, learning, and unity. I would also like to acknowledge the government of Canada, who has fully funded this event through the Canada Virtuous Women. I will acknowledge the presence of representatives from the Canada government here present, whose commitment to diversity and inclusion continues to shape the progress that we see today. Canada Virtuous Women, CAVIWO, is a faith-based organization of Christian women that came together to empower women and their families, with a focus on widows and single parents. CAVIWO began in 2016 and quickly grew nationally and internationally. Our headquarters being Ottawa, Canada, and branches in Cameroon, Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania for now. Today, we come together under the theme, Multiculturalism, United Against Racism, Empowering Black Canadians for Inclusion and Unity. Cet événement est bien plus qu'un simple événement. C'est un appel à l'action. Une célébration de nos cultures diverses. Un témoignage de notre résilience commune. Et un pas en avant vers une société inclusive. For centuries, Black Canadians have contributed immensely in this country, in the arts, the science, politics, business, and beyond. Yet, true empowerment comes not only from a recognition from our meaningful inclusion, but today we reflect on how we can continue to break boundaries, uplift one another, and create spaces where every voice is valued, every culture is honored, and every person belongs. We have the privilege to be surrounded by brilliant minds, passionate hearts, and inspiring change makers in this room today. This room, the richness of multiculturalism is in this very room, and the unity we seek is within our reach. So, I encourage you all to fully immerse yourself in the conversations, the performances, and shared experiences that this afternoon holds. Let us not just celebrate diversity, but embrace our unity. Ne célébrons pas seulement la diversité, mais embrassons aussi la puissance de l'unité. Because when we stand together as Black Canadians, as allies, as community, there is no limit to what we can achieve. Once again, I thank you all for being here. Une fois de plus, je vous remercie tous d'être ici. This is going to be an extraordinary afternoon, and I look forward to the inspiration, connections, transformative moments that unfold. Let's celebrate, uplift, and empower together. Thank you. Merci.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you, Madam President. Wow, amazing. Thank you so much. We are going to, because it's a multicultural event, so the activities will be mixed up with cultural dances so that you and I can have some fun tonight. Are we ready to have fun tonight? Yeah, I am ready for fun. So we will celebrate, we will dance, and you will join us in dancing. So we are going to have the first cultural dance, and this is going to be performed by some amazing women. I don't know if the DJ is ready to give us a sound, but there are some amazing women that want to display some cultural talents here tonight. And I am so looking forward to the beautiful dances that we'll go through tonight. But I also want to welcome all our speakers for tonight and our panelists. Thank you so much for honoring this great invitation. We thank you. We know today the weather is really not the best, but you have braved the weather to be here. And also our guests, every person that has showed up here, it is because you honor us. And you honored this day, because we want to know more on how we can together fight against racism in this country. I believe that each and every person under the sound of my voice has been a victim of racism in one way or the other, or you have seen or you have witnessed somebody that has been discriminated against. And so today is one of those days where we want to share those stories and see how can we move forward. How can we live in a society together and love one another? Because the message of the Canada Virtuous Woman is the message of love. All that we preach to the world is love, and it is the love of God. There is nothing more we can give more than the love. If you give love, then the world will be a better place to live. And that's what we're trying to display in the different activities that we carry out. And so, are we ready? Not yet. Okay, we'll give you another moment so that you can get the music ready. I see the ladies are ready, so we're just waiting for the music so that we can have that. We also have some food. Please do not go away without eating something. We made the different kinds of food so that you also can have a taste or a taste of the African culture or the Cameroonian culture and different African cultures. But we did also mix it because we know that amongst us there are Canadians. And so we mixed everything up so that all of us can enjoy ourselves tonight. And so you are in for a good treat tonight. And I hope that you will have a good time, that by the time you leave from here, you will be glad that you came. So we're just waiting for you, DJ. Okay, we'll give the DJ a moment.
Mami Wada. Ale mama isawale, sawale, sawale, sawale. Ale mama isawale, sawale, sawale. I know we know na so you do. I know we know say na so you do. How we gonna do? How we gonna do it? How we gonna do it? How we gonna do it? How we gonna do? How we gonna do it? How we gonna do it? How we gonna do it? And how we clap now? Then how we clap again there in advance? And how we turn on? And meet and roll there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how we set now? Set how we move again there. Set how we set the back now. Set how we move live now. Then how we set the third now. Set how we move against. And how we set the last now. Set how we move live now. No one to go. When I like I'm na you come so. When I like I'm na you come so. When I like I'm na you go so. When I like I'm na you go so. How we gonna do? 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 Somebody. You go for now, you come for Nero. Oh, Sawale. You go for now, you come for Nero. Oh, Sawale. Now it's can time we meet to Rio. Oh, Sawale. Now it's can time we put a big yo. Oh, Sawale. Oh, Sawale. Oh, Sawale. I'm sorry, Sawale. 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 I'm sorry, Sawale. And how we clap now, then how we clap again there, and bounce, then how we turn on, and meet and roll, 1, 2, 3, 4, Double always set now. Set away move against now. Then always set it back now. Set away move against now. And always set the third now. Set away move against now. Double always set the last now. Foreign away move against now. In advance, conduct yourself. Think what you like, I'm na you go so. Think what you like, I'm na you go so. You wanna like I'm na you come so. You wanna like I'm na you come so. You go for now, you come for now. You go for now, you come for now. Angelina, it's a wale. It's a wale. It's a wale. It's a wale. Angelina, not so you do. Not so you do. Not so you do. It's a wale. Now she can't tell we both be you. It's a wale. Now she can't tell we meet to you. It's a wale. I'm can't tell we wanna be you. It's a wale. I know we know not so you do. It's a wale. Bonsoir, it's a wale. It's a wale. It's a wale. It's a wale.
Come on, can we give them a clap? Good job. Good job. Good job. By the way, all of them are Canada Virtuous Women. Did they do a good job? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so now we are going to go further and move to our first keynote speaker for tonight. So we have two keynote speakers, and so we will start with the first one because we're running behind time, so we will go ahead and start with the first keynote speaker tonight. Can we have the projection? Thank you. So we are going to invite our first keynote speaker. Just give me one moment, please. Germaine, Chazo, and Cindy. Can we celebrate? Can we give her a clap? And she's going to be speaking on challenges that Black Canadians face with racism in employment and education. Can I have Nafisa to come help me with translation? Can we get a microphone for her? All right, thank you. Welcome, Germaine. Please come up. Can we get another microphone for her?
Okay, bonsoir à tous.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, sorry, I was not prepared to have a personal interpreter today, so thank you for doing this. I am fully bilingual, so if you have questions at the end in French or in English, I'm okay to answer.
Si vous avez des questions en français ou en anglais, n'hésitez pas.
So I'm very happy to be joining you here today, and I will start by acknowledging that I'm, joining you from the unceded territory of the Anishinaabe Algonquin people. And my name is Germaine Chazo Cindy. I am the Director of Operations, Engagement, and Outreach at the public service renewal within the Privy Council office here in Ottawa. And in my role, I support the clerk of the Privy Council. That's the highest ranking public servant in his role as the head of the public service to implement some of his priorities. And the two priorities that we're working on right now is engaging people in a renewed conversation on values and ethics in the public service. And I also lead the call to action on anti-racism, equity, and inclusion in the public service. So I also want to acknowledge that Black History Month just ended yesterday. Black History Month to me should not only be for February. We were Black on January 31st. We're still Black today. So Black history should continue to be a Canadian history. But this is an opportunity for us to celebrate the many contributions of Black Canadians in our society. Donc, je suis très honoré d'être ici avec vous aujourd'hui, de vous parler de quelque chose qui m'est vraiment super important, parce que quand on parle d'accessibilité, quand on parle d'accès, avoir accès à des réseaux, à des sponsors, c'est super important. Donc, each of us here represent a story of perseverance. We represent a story of resilience. So for us, we're always striving for excellence in a system that was not designed with us in mind. Our Canadian system was not designed to include Black people. So we're here because we understand the fundamental truth. Success is not just about hard work. It's about access to opportunities, access to people that can support you. It's about having the right networks. It's about having the right mentors and the right professional development opportunities. It's about being in the room where decisions are being made, where talent and promotion are decided, and where leadership pipelines are created. So many times in my career, I've been in the public service, by the way, for a little over 20 years. And many times I've always heard that success is about who you know. But what happens when the spaces where connections are being made are not inclusive? We're not part of those conversations. What happens when mentorship is limited to unconscious bias? What happens when professional development opportunities overlook our daily challenges, where Black professionals such as us navigate on a daily basis? Yet, data has shown time and time again that an inclusive workplace is not just an ethical priority, it's a strategic asset. The more engaged and empowered your employees are, you have a reduced incidence of harassment and discrimination, and people feel more included and they feel that sense of belonging. With all of that, despite our qualifications, skills, and dedications, many of us still face significant barriers in accessing networking opportunities, mentorship, sponsorships, and professional development opportunities. So just a small story, a little story about myself. I moved to Canada at the tender age of 13 years old. I landed in Ottawa, and after a year, my parents asked me to go and live in Toronto. So I was in Toronto for about 11 years. When I got approached, I was going to school, but I was very, very engaged in the community. And my engagement allowed me to make a lot of connections, right? You never know when you volunteer. When you're asked to volunteer, do it. You never know who you meet in your volunteering work. So I met a woman who worked at the time it was called Status of Women Canada. And she asked me to, she saw me going, and she was looking for somebody to be a program officer, a funder, and somebody with my skill set. At the time, when you live in Toronto, you don't think about the federal public service. I said no, I was not interested. And fast forward, in 2022, I decided to come back to Ottawa. And I got a call again to say, well, there's another position at Status of Women Canada who's open. Do you want to apply for it? And I said, sure. I came back and I was looking for something different. And the manager said she's looking for somebody with my skill set, somebody who understands communities, somebody who has, has the lived experience, because the idea was to reach out to more Black and racialized communities. So I applied, and when she received, you know how when the managers received the list of people who applied, my name was not on the list. And she knew that I was applying, and thank God she knew that I was applying. And she called me and asked, "Did you change your mind?" I said, "No, I did not change my mind." And she said, "Well, because I got the list of applicants and you're not on there." I said, "Well, I did what you asked me to do unless something went wrong with the system." And then she called HR and asked, "Are you sure you gave me the list of everybody that applied?" And they said yes. And she said, "No, there's a name missing, a specific name missing on the list." And all of a sudden, my name appeared on the next list that she got. So this is just to say, if I didn't have her, if she didn't have my back, I would have lost that opportunity. And how many of us in this room have been in situations where you got screened out of a competition without knowing why, right? Because somebody decided that you're not good enough for the job, or that they want to bring in their own people. So the networking, my network was really the thing that got me into it, and I got my first job in the public service at the time. So as I mentioned, networking and sponsorships are critical aspects of career development, but many Black professionals lack access to influential networks and connections, and this can make it difficult for us to get our foot in the door, and get recommendation or get access to opportunities. And just want to be clear that this is not about a lack of talent, right? It's because of the access. We're not there. We're not there when decisions are being made. We're not there when the connections are being made. So when I was asked to speak on this, I'm lucky enough, I'm also part of an executive leadership program in the Federal Public Service. So I spend my week with other Black executives. So I asked them, what are the different systemic barriers that you've encountered in your career in accessing professional development opportunities? And so they gave me a list of what I'm going to share with you right now. And I'm sure nobody in here is going to be surprised by what I'm saying, but I just didn't want it to be based on my experience. I wanted it to be based on other people's experiences so we can all learn from it. One of the things that I was told is that we're underrepresented in in leadership positions. And again, I'm really talking about the Federal Public Service. I work on a call to action where it asks departments, it asks deputy ministers to increase representation in hiring in senior leadership positions for Black, Indigenous, and racialized employees. We are 9,000 there are 9,000 executives in the Federal Public Service. Can anybody guess how many Black executives we are? Anyone? Any idea? Any number? No. 3 years ago, we were about 60. And today, there's less than 210 Black executives in the Federal Public Service. 210 out of 9,000 Black executives. So we still have a long ways to go. We are excluded from informal networks. We've heard time and time again that decisions are not being made in offices. Decisions are being made on golf course. Decisions are being made at some networking events, but we're never there. We're excluded from those events. Sometimes it's because we exclude ourselves. We don't go to things. But please, when they invite you, go. Those are where the decisions are being made. When they invite you to an event, sometimes it costs money, but think of it as an investment. So a lot of the time, I worked in an organization where I was told that, I'm just hiring people that I can talk hockey with. I don't do hockey. When am I going to have time to talk hockey with somebody? So we're being excluded in those events. in my leadership program this week, somebody said we're over-mentored and under-sponsored. So because of the call to action on anti-racism, a lot of the leaders they'll be happy to mentor us. Mentorship is about guidance. Sponsorship is actually taking somebody and say, I vouch for this person. I advocate for them. I need you to hire this person. So we're being over-mentored, but nobody wants to speak on our behalf. We always have the burden of proving ourselves over and over. 20 years in my career, I'm a rock star in my department. But every single day, I have to make sure that I prove myself to my senior people because I need to be seen, because people don't trust us. So that burden is always on our shoulders. I talked about the unconscious biases when mentoring people. People are usually looking to mentor other people that look like them. And if there are only 210 black executives, and there's a lot of black employees, there's only so much that we can do. We lack organizational support. Many places do not have structured mentorship that, is specifically geared towards black, indigenous, and other racialized employees. And when they do, because a lot of organizations are asked to do that right now, when they do, and no offense to my white colleagues here, but the white people start feeling left out. Why are you only mentoring? Why are you creating a program for black people? What about us? You're taking something away from us, right? We're not taking, diversity and inclusion is not about taking anything away from anybody. It's about making room at the table for everybody. So how do we fix this? There's a lot more that I didn't get into, but I can share later on. And one thing that I've been learning recently is we fix this by the power of what I will call alignment. Aligning 3 elements for success, we can break down those systemic barriers. And I'm talking about the right mindset. The right mindset. Mindset is about what we think, our beliefs, our values, our attitudes, or things that shape our behaviors and ultimately our journey. The right skill set. The skill set is what we know, the expertise, the competencies that makes us effective professionals. And also the last one is a tool set, the right tool set. What are the tools that we can leverage to have those access. First, when we talk about the mindset, again, we have to go out and we have to shift our mindset to be open to learning more, open and grow, building and strengthening our networks. If the doors are not open for us, let's create our own doors. I like what you guys are doing here with the Virtuous Women. Create opportunities where you can meet other black executives, other black professionals, join and support any professional network or affinity groups. Attend events. You hear that somewhere, there's an event somewhere, take the time and go. One thing that I heard recently from somebody is when they're busy collaborating and building their networks, we are busy doing 1, 2, 3 jobs just to make ends meet. And when we do the 1, 2, 3 jobs, we don't have time to network. So we have to think about that. We have to think about it as an investment. We're investing in ourselves, and ultimately we're investing in our families. Recognize our value. I was in a department where I stayed 12 years, and I was a rock star of my department. I'm always a rock star everywhere I go. In Cameroon, we say, impossible n'est pas camerounais. Put me in any situation, I'll make it happen. I was 12 years in an organization. I was doing everything for everybody. And one day, there was a position open, my first executive position, And they told me, well, Germaine, put yourself in a pool. If you understand, if you're a public servant, you understand what a pool is. You know, they open a competition and they put people in a pool. And people, again, will go out and pick up the people that look like them. And we swim, and then we drown in the pool, and nobody gets to take us out. So they told me, get yourself in the pool and we'll give you the position. So I applied to 2 competitions that were open at the time, and I got into a pool. And then the other, in one pool, I got into one pool, and then the other organization gave me a position, offered me a position. So before I got the offer, I took the pool, I sent it to my DJ. I said, oh, by the way, you said to get myself in the pool. I guess she never thought I would make the competition. So here's the pool. Can you give me the position indeterminately? And she said, yeah, there's a couple more things that I need to do before, let's hold on a little bit. So what do you mean hold up? I've been here 12 years. I've proven myself to you. Why, what is it that you need from me again? And then I got the job from the National Arts Center. I didn't even know what the National Arts Center was. I didn't know that it was a Crown corporation. It wasn't core public service administration. So I came back and I gave her, I gave her the letter. I said, whoa, I got a job offer from the NEC. And what my expectation from her was, and this is what they always do, Germaine, I don't want you to go. I'm going to match that offer. That's what I was expecting her to say to me. But what she said was, oh my God, Germaine, that's a very great opportunity for you. This is really what you were born to do. I'm so happy for you. We were working from home. It was during COVID. It was in 2020. And I looked at her. I said, what do you mean? I thought I was getting in a pool to get my job permanently. And she said, no, this is going to be perfect. I was asked to be the first EDI director at the National Arts Center. And so I hung up the Teams, and I started crying. My husband was there, my son was there, and I started crying. I said, wow, I gave 12 years of my life to this organization. I did everything. I was director of national programs, but I was also doing the work at the regional level. And this is how, And so 2 days go by, and she calls me back. So I need to speak to you. I said, no, I'm not ready to speak to you. So I keep working, and then she said, no, I need to speak to you. So I said, okay, what is it? She said, oh, I went to speak to Nancy. Nancy was our ADM, our Assistant Deputy Minister. And apparently I made a boo-boo. Nancy asked me to come back and fix it with you and make you stay. So I said, oh, it's Nancy who's telling you. So it's not you who want me to stay. I said, oh, okay. So that day, my husband went out, he bought a bottle of champagne, and he put it on that thing. He said, when you sign that NEC letter, we'll open that champagne and we'll drink it. So I'm like, no. When I said no to her, I reclaimed my power back from her. I said no. She called me twice, 3 times. I said, this is, no in English is so short, even shorter than in French. No is 3-letter word in French. No in English is only 2 letters. I said, no, I'm not interested. I don't want to come. I don't want to be here anymore because that trust is broken. The trust is broken. But that was at the time that I realized my value in that organization. I was giving myself, my son was looking at me crying because I would start at 7, finish at 11, because I didn't want anybody to have anything negative to say about my performance. My son said, well, Mom, if you're taking that job at the NEC, you're doing this, you're gonna even, you're taking a promotion. I told the guy, I said, no, it's fine. But what it gave me, that power to understand my value, what I was worth. And when I negotiated at the NEC, the CEO asked to meet with me, and he said, what is it that you're looking for? I said, you know what? I can do anything. I was feeling overpowered. But I have one question for you. And he said, what is it? I said, how is your work-life balance here? And the CEO said, well, I come in at 9:30 and I leave at 6. And when I leave, I'm gone. So I said, oh, if the CEO can leave at 6, why am I going to stay here more than 6 o'clock? That was my only negotiation. I'm not doing those 12, 13, 16-hour days anymore. And I stuck to it until today. I don't do that if I don't want to. If you see me work past 5, that's because I want to. If somebody asks me, and when I leave my work, and I work at the Privy Council, I don't know if you understand what the Privy Council is within the federal government. So understand your worth, understand what you're bringing to the table, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You have to also be willing to take risks. I took a risk going from Status of Women Canada to the NACs, an organization that I had no idea what was about. But that was the best decision of my career so far. That was the best thing. I went there unknowing what I was doing, but I took that risk. So sometimes we're afraid of the unknown, but it could be a blessing in disguise. So don't be afraid to take risks. Focus on building relationships. Throughout my career, I told you, I'm a doer. People know that they can trust me. If we give her something, she's going to achieve. And that's how I was able to build relationships. And I have really, really good relationship with some of the deputy ministers and assistant deputy ministers that I've worked with. And they are my references. So when I apply for a job, they are my references. So make sure that you're always focusing on delivering and building really, really good relationship. Well, we're all resilient, so the next one is really what we're all about. Learn from your mistakes. And then sometimes we'll make mistakes, but use them as a learning opportunity. Don't dwell on those mistakes, right? Use them as learning opportunities. And something that I always say is, networking is a two-way street. When you can provide an opportunity for someone else to be mentored by you, please do it. We have to learn to build our community. We have to learn to support one another, because the others have proven to us that, they support them. We have to do the same for ourselves. So that's the mindset. We have to be able to shift that mindset. So in terms of skill set, seek mentors intentionally. If those mentors are not reaching out to us, let's go and find them. Let's create our own community of mentors. Look beyond the racial representation. I said earlier that there's only 210 black executives in the public service, but we also have a lot of allies. We have people that believe in the cause. We have people that believe in being more inclusive. So let's seek them out. Push for sponsorship, not just mentorship. Again, mentorship is about guidance, but sponsorship is power, and we need both. So when we have the skill set, we also need the right tool set. In terms of tool set, I said it earlier, when you hear there's an event somewhere, a networking event, please go. You never know who you're going to meet. Sometimes it's in the evening, but if you can find a babysitter, if you can find a way, attend those events, get people to know you, right? Know who your allies are, build relationship. Again, it's what can I bring, what value I bring to this organization. Leverage your allyship. Networking is not about who you know, but it's about ensuring that people in power know who you are. In our organization, there's a lot of committees, there's a lot of work. I rarely see our people raise your hand to be part of those committees. If there's work to be done, right, make sure that people know that you're more than just your job. We're paid to do our job, but show them what else you're capable of, what other skills you have to bring to the table. That is going to help you build those relationships. That's going to help people know who you are beyond the work that you're paid to do. Use online platforms and resources. Leverage technology. AI is a new talk in town. If you don't know about AI, go and learn about AI. Make sure that when somebody comes to you and say, oh, there's this new thing, oh yeah, I know about it. Let's, you're able to provide information about those. LinkedIn, and I say this, I'm a bad user of LinkedIn. I have an account, but I don't go on often. I don't post often. But leverage LinkedIn. LinkedIn is about an employment community. Take the opportunities to leverage the technologies, but also make sure that you know how to use them, right? Sometimes we use Facebook, or somebody that I know call it fake book, because it's about people showing their best selves. But you need to understand how to use those to maximize the usage of the tools and technology. Just a little bit of a plug for the work that I do. For those who are public servants, please take the time to review the clerk's call to action on anti-racism, because we have specific recommendations in there for deputies and organizations to do. I said earlier, increase representation for Black people in leadership ranks, increase inclusion in the workplace, provide mentorship and sponsorship for Black employees, dismantle systemic racism that is impeding the advancement of Black people in the workforce. So we all know, for those that are public servants, again, the government is going through some restraints. So people are going to say, well, we can't hire people anymore. But if you can't hire somebody, you have employees that are already in your organization. What are you doing to develop those people? Are you offering them some developmental opportunities, leadership opportunities, access to maybe a different acting opportunities in the work, so that they can gain a different set of skills? So go in there, look at the work, at the call to action, and ask questions. Sometimes we're not asking questions. We're not holding our leaders accountable. Ask questions. And then don't ask questions in terms of, oh, you're doing everything bad, blah, blah, blah. No, how can I help to make this better? What can I do to make this better next year? What can I do to create a work environment where everybody feels that sense of belonging? I want to be part of the solution, never be part of the problem. Always come in with solutions. And something that I always tell people, I don't know if you've seen this, but the latest demographic projection from StatsCan revealed that by 2030, indigenous youth will make up 45% of indigenous population. But by 2040, racialized individuals will represent between 39% and 43% of the Canadian population and workforce. You know what this means? This is an opportunity for us to get in the game. So because we'll need to make sure that we're able to support these people. And we can only support this new generation of Black people that are coming into Canada if we are a public service, if we are an organization, an institution, a school that is representative of the Canadian population. And by tapping into underutilized talent pool, people, by ensuring, the full participation of this population, we'll be able to alleviate labor shortages. We'll be able to drive economic growth, increasing Canadian productivity, and strengthen social cohesion by reducing inequalities and fostering a sense of belonging. So in closing for today, I would like to ask all of you to be able to commit to owning our space, understanding who we are, understanding what we bring to a workplace, a work environment, but always be ready and present We're not in the where conversations are happening. We're not there because sometimes we feel that we don't belong in those spaces, but we do. We are Canadians. Build strong networks and create access. If you know of a place that is hiring, send the information out to your community. Invest in your growth and pursue every single professional development opportunity. Support one another. I would not say this enough. We have to create our community, because when everything fails us, and things will fail us, you can only have your community to fall on. Let's build a community, and let's ensure that we're able to be there for one another when somebody calls. And I'll tell you, public speaking is my worst fear in ever. But I told myself that one of the things that I will do in 2025 is say yes to every single opportunity that I have to speak. So just for the month of so since Black History Month, well, actually since the year started, I've done a lot of public speaking. I never thought I would be able to do it. I never thought I would be standing in front of people to speak, because I don't like it. But I also feel that it's our responsibility when we're in positions of leadership. It's our responsibility to share the knowledge. It's our responsibility to share what we understand and help build our community. So I will like to stop here and very available to answer questions.
So much. Thank you. I'm just going to call Nafisatu to take a minute or two to translate just give a brief summary of what you got from this, and then we will call on our panelists to speak tonight.
All right. Bonsoir à tous, bon après-midi à tout le monde. Je vais juste faire un résumé très bref de ce que Maman Germaine a partagé. C'était un discours très, très, très intéressant. Les points sur lesquels elle s'est vraiment attardée, c'est le fait que la communauté de couleur manque d'accès. On a besoin des opportunités. On a aussi besoin de pouvoir être dans les zones d'influence. Nous ne sommes pas là lorsque les décisions sont faites. Il est important pour nous de pouvoir nous ériger à ces endroits où les décisions sont faites. Ce n'est pas seulement dans les bureaux, ça peut être dans les cours de golf, ça peut être dans des événements sociaux, et nous devons nous mettre à disposition. Nous devons être disponibles en fait, pour pouvoir partager ces moments et pouvoir aussi apporter un plus. Rien que notre présence peut faire une différence. Elle a donné les statistiques de 210 exécutifs sur 9000 dans les lieux d'autorité là où elle travaille. On peut s'imaginer que le ratio n'est pas très élevé, et c'est un challenge que nous voulons prendre pour pouvoir vraiment être plus inclus dans cette sphère-là. Comment pouvons-nous arranger cela? 3 points principaux. La première des choses, c'est notre façon de penser. Parfois, nous nous exclusons nous-mêmes en disant peut-être que nous ne sommes pas assez qualifiés, peut-être nous n'appartenons pas, nous devons faire les efforts. Deuxièmement, nous devons apporter les compétences et les talents qui relèvent vraiment de notre domaine de travail. Ensuite, nous devons aussi avoir les bons outils. On doit se rassurer qu'on a de très bons outils. Et elle a dit une phrase qui était vraiment intéressante. Lorsque nous sommes sponsorisés, c'est puissant. Et lorsque nous avons des mentors, nous avons l'information qui est tout autant importante, mais c'est le sponsoring qui nous apporte le soutien, et c'est celui qui nous aide vraiment à pouvoir aller de l'avant. Donc, continuons de cultiver nos cultures, nos relations. Rassurons-nous qu'au lieu de courir après les salaires, nous sachions aussi établir un système qui va nous permettre de pouvoir évoluer, de pouvoir être bien établis dans la société, et de pouvoir aussi montrer que nous sommes capables d'apporter un plus. Merci.
Merci beaucoup. Merci. And I'm just going to give you a brief summary of who Germaine is. And I should have done this at the beginning. I didn't have my glasses, so I couldn't see that. I apologize for that, Germaine. Sorry. Germaine is the Director of Operations at the Privy Council Office. And that means that she deals with engagement and outreach at the Privy Council Office, leading efforts on anti-racism, equity, and inclusion in the federal public service. Previously, she was the first director of equity diversity, and inclusion at the National Arts Center, where she spearheaded its first equity, diversity, inclusion, and anti-racism action plan, 2023 to 2026. She also served as Director of National Policy, Programs, and Partnerships at WAGE, overseeing 150 plus projects supporting diverse communities. With 15 plus years of federal experience, she holds a Bachelor in Social Sciences, Conflict Studies, and lives in Orleans with her husband and 2 sons. Can we give a clap onto her? Thank you so much for representing the Black community. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. We do appreciate that. And I believe that somebody here has learned something from what you are saying. It is true that we are not always where decisions are made. It is true that we always find excuses not to be at the right places where we can tap some knowledge, where we can learn and be able. The other day we had other workshops that were virtual. We had a lot of people there and a lot of speakers. And most of what they were saying, because we actually did our best to bring some experts, was that we are not always there. We like to complain. We like to complain, but we are not at the right places. We do too many jobs, way too many jobs, and then we don't find the time. One mother said that we are not in our children's school board. And so when decisions are made at school, we are only there to complain that our children are being marginalized, but are you on the school board of your child? Those are all efforts that we can make. Now I'm going to invite the panelists to come up just for us to react to what Germaine said. And if you have questions, you can always raise your hand when it is time and we will take that. So the first panelist that I'm going to invite on stage is Loveline Cabio. Loveline Cabio is the director on IT infrastructure, in IT infrastructure services at EDC. Loveline is a strategic IT leader with over 19 years of experience in innovation, IT strategy, leadership, and operations. As Director of IT Infrastructure Services, she specializes in cloud computing, digital transformation, and business strategy, driving workforce or workplace change through multiculturalism, diversity, and inclusion. Loveline Cabio holds certifications from Harvard Business School and MIT Sloan, with academic backgrounds in computer sciences, Morris Brown College, and held Informatics York University. A dynamic leader she is. She excels in building high-performance teams and leveraging digital technologies for business success. Please welcome Loveline Cabio. Thank you so much. I think I'm going to have you take a seat there. I'm going to invite another panelist so that we can react to what Germaine said. And the next panelist that I'm going to invite is John Emmanuel. He is a senior product manager, international broadcast journalist, media and business leader. And he is an expert in international broadcast, with expertise in media technology and business transformation. He is the senior product manager at Packet Limited, UK, and director of program operations at Akao Talk Radio. I think our program was actually advertised on it today. And Canada's Capital Black radio station, with certifications including PMP, CSM, and CSPO. He excels in agile delivery, product development, and strategic transformation. A Project Management Institute member, John leverages storytelling, technology, and data-driven insight to optimize operations and enhance user experience. Please welcome John Emmanuel to the stage. Thank you. Can I get another microphone, please? So, thank you so much, Loveline and John. So we're just going to react to what Germaine said, because she brought up some really interesting topics, and if we have to be honest to ourselves, it is the reality. And what is your take on it before I ask some further questions? What is your take? Let me start with Loveline.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. No, that was really good. There's something we really need to understand. As she said, we need to, if we go and there's no seat on the table, let's pull our seat. Let's bring our own seat, because if you're waiting for somebody to bring the seat, nobody is going to bring it for you. So you need to pull the seat and make yourself known. So we need to understand that, yes, there's racism. Yes, there's a lot happening. I have been one of it. Racism happened to me a long time ago, but I changed that, right? I don't look at it as negative. I look at it as change. And what do you do with change? You embrace it. You learn from it. You grow from it, and you make it your own. So don't let anybody give you an identity. Have your own identity. Wear it. Wear it like a banner. Put it on you. You are who you are, not who anybody tells you you are. So we need to build that in ourselves, build it in our kids, make sure they understand that when they walk in that room, they own it. If we don't do that, somebody else will own it, and we can blame anybody from owning. That's it. So let's have it, let's own it, let's wear it, and let's enjoy it, and let's share it with others. You know, in my career, I build, I mentor, I coach, I train. For me, we talk about racism, I don't see that. I don't see color, because people saw color. I don't see color. So that makes us different.
That's right. People see color, but you don't see color. Because what is it about? It's about the color of the skin. Now, I'm going to ask the next question to John as a journalist. It's really interesting because one of our speakers over the weekend, too, was a journalist that immigrated to Canada. And she thought she was going to continue her career, but she was told that she could not do it because she has an accent. So she was actually speaking on accent. So how do you do that in relation to what Germaine said? And you as an international journalist, how do you deal with that?
Thank you very much for the time. I want to thank our speaker for such an amazing delivery, very smart and very informative. Thank you very much for your words. And I believe we'll learn from you today. God bless you. I'm a very proud African man. When I don't mean pride. I'm very proud of my heritage and where I come from, so you cannot put me down. And this is what I tell my 3 boys every single day. I tell them black is beautiful. And every color comes from black. We know that. Forget the history. So basically, as a journalist from West Africa, working for the BBC World News and all of that, traveling around the territories of West African countries, stuff like that. And when I came to this part of the world, at the time with my work visa to work for Rogers TV, and it was a very crazy, sorry for the word, very sweet bucket of disappointment. And the ladies I was training, with respect to my white colleagues or my white folks here, I realized that they had problem putting me on the TV, on the screen. I didn't realize that until an IT student came on board, and I finished training, because as a BBC journalist, you have to do everything, from reporting to broadcasting to production to editing, like a one-man soldier, stuff like that. I was very skillful right there in the news department and the production department, but they didn't give me a show. Then I realized that, okay, this is the reality. Yeah. And so racism ended many years ago. And I don't like when people reiterate racism. We have a breath. We have an opportunity. We live in an environment where learning can be restricted. So we cannot begin to campaign about what happened. It is what you do with what happened. So when I realized that this media territory would fracture my very impressive talent, then I left. I started working and writing for international organizations, sending reports to France 24, sending reports to Euronews and stuff like that. And my jobs have been featured everywhere. Then I created my brand, stuff like that. So as black people, I think that nobody can call you what you don't call yourself. So you have to understand that. Yeah. And when you walk into any room, you need to understand that reality. She spoke about the fact that we're not present. So let's talk about why are we not always in those meetings? Mm-hmm. The people that welcome you into the country can determine how much you fly. Mm-hmm. You cannot escape and grow beyond your network. There is no miracle that can guarantee that. The people that receive you, you stayed with in the country determines how much you're going to fly and ride. If they're so comfortable with the basic jobs, that's how you're going to roll. So basically, I feel like as black people, we are not just ordinary immigrants trying to survive. We are the resources needed for the next generation. So you have to tell people who you are. Otherwise, they will tell you what you are not. So why are we not in this meeting? To summarize, we come into the country, we see the luxuries. You want to drive the brand new 2027 SUV, and your salary is $3,000 in a month. So therefore, you want to have mortgage when you don't have enough resources to shoulder these things. So you swim into the bankruptcy of debt. You're not comfortable with getting so little things on Facebook because you're a starter. You want to have the brand new couch. So in the end, you have a lot of debt. So when people take their kids for soccer, where you can meet the principal of your kids' school, you are not there. You're chasing hours. So it's impossible for you to ride and swim when the realities are not there. Thank you very much. I don't want to talk too much.
Thank you. Thank you. One of the things that I picked from what he said was, you also can create your own brand. You can create your own brand and make it big. You can actually make it big. My question for you, Loveleen, as a director where you are, there are so many blacks that are directors. What are some of the tips that you can tell us, some of us that would desire to be directors? Because I think Germaine actually talked about that and gave us the statistics of how many black people are in top positions in the public service. So what are some of the suggestions or the tips that you can tell us so that we too can maybe aspire or work hard to become directors?
Thank you. Thank you very much for the question. I think we are all directors. It's just how we place it, where we find ourselves. I'll give you a little story. When I joined EDC, I was the only female black person within the organization of IT, and it has been that way through my career. I've always been in IT, and I've always been in a room full of men, and I'm the only woman in there because that's an area where we don't really see a lot of female. My family is in here, they will tell you I'm a fighter. Where you say not to go, that's where I go. So when I like challenges as well, so I always find myself in a situation where I want to challenge all those around me, both male, female. So for me, that keeps me awake. Yeah. So I was the only black woman, female, and I got in there, I said I have to make a change. And there was nobody working in the department that is black. Yeah. So that was a problem. That was concerning to me. Yeah. And coming in as a manager, I was there for just 6 months before becoming a director. I created the opportunity for blacks, not just black, but other than the faces I saw. Yeah. I brought in more people. I created a different kind of team. I uplift the team from what it was to where it is right now. Right. But I created an opportunity for people to apply. And when I go to select the resumes, I want to see a name that looks like my name. That is so hard to pronounce, and I don't even know how to pronounce, but I want them. Yeah. And what I realized is that even bringing them in, what we are not doing is building them with that, not just the knowledge, but that opportunity to say, you know what, I own this. Give them that. So I'll interview someone, I can see their resume says a lot, but they can't tell me what is on their resume. And the few that could tell me, I gave them an opportunity. And Some of them are there, some of them they've moved on. But that is what we need to start doing. Create an opportunity for our young ones. Build that opportunity for them to grow. What we don't do is, as a little child, they don't teach us how to own ourselves. Nobody teaches us that. You need to teach your kids that you are who you are. Whatever you learn will take you somewhere. You need to respect yourself, not what people, the respect that's coming to you. There are a lot of people, even up to today, that they don't like my accent. And I did not change it on purpose. I've been in North America, some of you know, for more than 30 years. I realize I don't want to change it. So what you see is what you get. If I'm trying to understand you, please try to understand me. Because I can also change my word, but why do I have to change myself for you? Change yours for me. So that's I can say that's my stubbornness, but that's okay. That's a story for another day. But we need to also give an opportunity for our kids to learn other things, like technology is growing. Yeah. She talked about AI. AI is something that, as we know 2 years ago, people say, oh, you're bringing AI to take over our jobs. Yeah. No. Let's learn, what is AI bringing to us? Right now, I'm rolling Copilot throughout the organization. I'm doing that. But people are not embracing. They're scared. They don't like challenges. But no, Copilot is going to make your job easy. I have somebody right now in the crowd that will not even use Copilot. Every time I say, no, just you have the knowledge. Put it there, Copilot will do the rest for you, so you can use the time to do something else. But we always want to hold tight. Technology is growing. We should be growing with the technology. Yeah. As we're moving, let's upskill ourselves to what is coming, what is here, not what was there. And a lot of people are like, oh, I used to. No, that's done. What is coming? How can I get into it? Yeah. How can I study it? You talk about Harvard. I personally, it's someone I like to train. I mean, my kids said last year that, Mom, stop, no more courses. No more, take a break. But we need to take that, because as technology is growing, we need to grow our mentality. We need to grow our knowledge so we can catch up. Yeah. But if we're waiting for somebody to say, hey, go Loveland, go take this course, nobody will tell you. Yeah. You need to tell yourself what is good for you, study what is good for you, and make yourself marketable. You know, back home when we go to the market, if your fruit is not really shining, nobody will call you to say, hey, bring that fruit. No. That is how technology, that's how our job force should be. Mm-hmm. Make yourself marketable. As she said, go to LinkedIn. Put it there. I was found from LinkedIn. EDC, I did not apply for EDC. EDC found me on LinkedIn, reach out and say, hey, we like your experience, we like your background, we have something going on. Do you want it? And my kids, I said, nah, I'm fine. But then I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, send it. Because one thing, I never wanted to move to Ottawa, just so Ottawa, sorry. But Ottawa was the last place I said I want to come. No, there's snow. So one of the reasons I said no Ottawa is because, nah, I don't want to move here. But little do we know, God has a way of taking you to places that you never thought you will. So we need to give ourselves that opportunity to see the other side. Yeah. It was God that said, no, Loveland, I want you there. Because within 6 months of being a manager, the things that I did, it wasn't anybody. I didn't apply. They created. There are people here in the crowd that they work with EDC. They created my position for me because of what I was bringing, what I was doing. I did not sit quiet. No, the wave was moving. Yeah. Because when you see me coming, that wave is coming with me. Yeah. And they created that position as a director. Yeah. And I went in there and I created other opportunities and other positions, both white, black, purple, pink, blue, you name it, for us to be able to brainstorm. Because you cannot be the only one on the table. Bring other people, like-minded people, and learn from each other. Yeah. Because if we don't do that and we're trying to hold ourselves to say, let's just do the black, only have blacks, we're missing something. So bring everybody on the table. Bring your 1 cent, let them bring their 1 cent, and when we add it all, we're learning. Not just that they're bringing, but no, let's learn from each other. So that is one thing I would like to leave us today, that racism is the way we look at it, but we need to change that narrative. Let's open ourselves for change, because if we do, we will embrace a lot of things that we're now looking as negative. We will change that negative into positive.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can we give her a hand? My last question for you, John. I like the fact that you created your own brand, and it is one of those things that I would like you to talk about as we end this session. What is the encouragement that you can give some people that would love to also like create their own brand and be able to do their own thing? Because most of the time too, some people just copy. You understand? They just copy from somebody and then they go and it doesn't work. And most of the time too, it is maybe because we did not put in the work, we don't have the discipline, we do not fully qualify. So what are some of the things that you can tell somebody that would like to like do their own thing and also rise in it?
Thank you. First, salary won't make you rich. First and first is the gateway to a conventional poverty. You think you're okay, but you're just living from paycheck to paycheck. So, first of all, is empowerment. You cannot give what you don't have. You have to literally upgrade yourself to the point where you can stand tall where you find yourself. So, when I realized all of the distasteful shenanigans in the Canadian media industry, my apologies, then I reached out to my friends in working for the CNN in Germany, and I started Broadpost, and afterwards I opened Thunel Entertainment and Media. We started writing report and documentaries for government, and from there I started training young broadcasters and journalists. And even if I go to my house now and I sleep, I'm being paid in pounds by the BBC for the work that I do for them. And so if you do not own business in this part of the world, you are a slave to the system. Because at the end of the day, when you put in your T4 to file your tax, it's frustrating. As someone who, when I got frustrated before I started, having my stuff, I move into cybersecurity. I'm like, no, I don't like all this code and this figures. I want to go into product ownership. Then I went into that, and I excel very perfectly well. But my love for journalism is always there. So what I tell people is, dare to move forward. So the question is, who are you dating? Who is your fiance? Who is your husband? Who is your friend? And that's why when there is no peace in the house, you can thrive actually at work. So basically, I move with people that are entrepreneurs. Yeah. You can't be around my space if you have no business mindset. Yeah. It's easy to own business. Owner.ca, you're there. 15 minutes, you have your business. Strategize. There are organizations in this city that can give you funding. Present your proposal. It's done. CanadaStartup.ca. Go there, pay them $300. They get you funding. You start your business. It's as simple as that. From your community all the way. But you have to believe you're too good to fail. You have to believe somebody called God took his time to invest in you, and you're such a big brand that you cannot just fail. If you fail, it's an experience. So that's why when I make sense, I don't celebrate. When I fail, I don't celebrate. It's an experience for me. Yeah. So it is not what happened, it is what you do with what happened. If you do not own business, you can't sit where decisions are made. You cannot. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we thank you so much? We might have some more questions for you. I'm just going to quickly move into the crowd. Anybody has a question for the panelists or the speaker, Germaine? Does anyone have a question? You can just raise your hand if you have a question. Okay, you have a question. Can I get a microphone, please?
I just want to say thanks to all the three presenters. I've really learned a lot. but I want you to speak to a specific challenge that most people in this room will have. We all come from back home, and when we are coming here, a lot of people come with a lot of baggage. We've got families looking up to you, and we know that our children will probably not have that challenge in the future, but sometimes you are competing with people who don't have the same financial burdens as some of us, as others might have. So how do you rise above that challenge? How do they rise, or how do we as a community rise above that challenge?
Okay. Did you want to take that, Jermaine? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's something that we all struggle with. Even coming here at a tender age of 13, that was one of my responsibilities. But it's also important to understand the culture where we're in, right? When we come to Canada, you know, we come into a system that is not the same way that we think about. We have to be able to do a little bit of a balance, right? We have to be able to explain to our communities, to our people, that yes, I can do my part, but I'm not going to be doing 100% of it anymore. I'm saying this. Some people might say that I'm being a little selfish, but we're also into a situation where if you don't pay your rent, at the end of the month, you're out in the cold. So it's important to educate. So education is one big piece of what we have to do. It's important to educate our communities, educate our families, and to what are the realities of this country. Because everybody, we're always going to take, you know, we're going to be able to, not able to, but we're going to be taking our people, the people who are lifting us up. If we don't lift them up, we're taking them down with us. So what do you prefer? Do you prefer to bring them down with you? So education, tell them, give them the reality, tell them exactly what's happening here. The thing that I find for most people is that we want to appear that we're very nice. We want to appear to make people think that this is like the El Dorado of the entire, you know, the world, whereas it's not the reality. So tell them what the realities are. And people would, if you explain it to them, they will understand. It's like your child, you know, tell them, teach them, give them the reality of this country. This is not an easy place to be. And I found out a lot of new immigrants. I read a lot about new people that are coming into this country. They came, they sold the lands, they did everything back home, and they came thinking, oh, you know, I just borrowed that money. I'm gonna, after maybe working 3 months, I will be able to send the money back home. But they come here, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. But we can only do it if we're able to educate ourselves and educate others. Okay. That's what I will say about
Thank you. Thank you so much. Did you have any other advice for her? Please, 1 minute, because we're running out of time. Yeah?
Thank you. I just want to say that sometimes you have to hurt people nicely.
Yeah.
You cannot help people if you haven't helped yourself.
Yeah.
The people back home would always ask.
Yeah.
They never stop asking. And be careful what you showcase on social media. You're in your friend's car, Lamborghini, there's a selfie out there. You're painting a wrong impression that you're okay. I have basic responsibilities. Yeah. My mother, you know, and extended families, they'll be fine. They will present a problem like, if you don't fix it, they're gonna die, but they will be fine. Yeah. All right, secure your base, have a structure, grow your investment, let them complain. When you can, help. If they're asking for 1,000, please give 500. Because when you supply everything, there is a misconception that you have it, and they'll keep coming. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, 1 minute, please.
Yeah. Is it still on?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. No, I just want to put it out there that right now I'm currently hiring. If anybody is looking for any keys, you know, skills that you will need to get into the IT force, please reach out to me. Also, you can find me on LinkedIn. You can also connect with my sister here to send me a resume. I have a lot of positions that I'm hiring right now. So please let me know if this is something you guys will want. I also have a lot of connections with different departments, which makes it even better for anyone, or if you know someone that knows someone, please reach out to them because this is a great opportunity. And again, God put me there for a reason, so let's use that reason that God has me there. So I just want to put that out.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Please, you can take your seats. Thank you so much. Happy that you came here tonight. Yes, because if you're looking for a job, you will. You will definitely find one. This is the good place, networking. Now, I'm just going to call up one of our students from the University of Ottawa to come give us a poem. Her name is Aisha Salim. Can we cheer? Can we cheer? Can we cheer? And I want to thank all our speakers today. I appreciate all of you. Can we get her a microphone? Thank you so much for coming, Aisha. Thank you. We love you. She's a student from the University of Ottawa. She's an artist. I don't want to talk about her. Just watch, and you will love her.
Hello, everyone. Hi, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you for giving me the time of day, for taking the time to listen to the words that I'm about to tell you. I will be sharing, I am a spoken word artist, so I will be sharing a poem with you all today. The poem is called The Heart and the Fist. This poem, I had written it in my last year of high school after an experience of a school lockdown where my brothers and their friends experienced police brutality. So it's really coming from the heart. I'm so excited to share it with you all. I really hope you all like it, okay? It goes like this. Science says that my heart is the same size as your fist. My blood vessels mold into your thumb. My veins and my arteries add up to your fingers like a sum, the same way that when you punch, my heart pumps. And when you fist bump, my heart beats. And when you breathe, my heart breathes. So, if we are so connected, then why am I so disrespected when your fist is overprotected while my heart is so neglected and my whole body is so dissected? They say that it takes a village to raise a child, but it is our African that they defiled. They stole black babies from their wombs and sent their fathers to their tombs. But believe it or not, Wakanda existed in Africa centuries ago. It was our flourishing villages, just so you know, our West African beats that invented rhythm and flow. We treat our children like vibranium with their brilliant black glow. We taught them that winning the race sometimes means steady and slow. But if the sea could talk, it would cry out in sadness and woe, telling tales of how slave ships would heavily overflow because black people were sold to line pockets with dough. This was the racism and hate that our people had to undergo. And let's not forget about indigenous people. Hey, Justin Trudeau. And what about how they won't let black children grow? Patting us down during school lockdowns because we look suspicious. Oh, I'm sorry, is my hoodie supposed to be malicious? Wake up, it's police brutality that is vicious. They cuff us until we're in tears. Cuff us and tell us that no one cares. Cuff us and whisper in our ears, little black boy, I have all your fears. Cuff us until we're crying for our mothers. Cuff us until we're crying, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. I wonder if they make bulletproof backpacks to go with their bulletproof books. We need bulletproof pens to go with our bulletproof friends. Let's not forget about your bulletproof comb, and what about your bulletproof phone? Because apparently, if it wasn't recorded, it never happened, right? Because black people are just content creators for the news, right? Because a black man dies and you post it just for views, right? Because they watch and they hashtag little black children being abused, right? Because justice is just another word they choose to misuse, right? Breaking news. Another unarmed black man. Another unarmed black woman, another unarmed black baby, another unarmed Palestinian. In Gaza, a mother writes her son's name on his thigh because in Gaza, every hour, 5 children die. I heard that the martyred children live in the stars in the sky, and when they wake up, they no longer hear bullets fly, no longer their lullaby. Is this the genocide that they deny? Why not choose to be an ally because of the Starbucks latte that you had to buy? Did you not hear Reem's grandfather cry? He said, the soul of my soul held her until her 3-year-old body turned cold. Let the truth be told. Let's sit back and watch history unfold. Because the children wish that they could turn bombs and bullets into rain, so that they can water the olive trees in their terrain. The children wish that they could turn tanks and fighter jets into paper planes, so that they can be in their loving mother's arms again. The children wish to hold hands with the children of Congo, Sudan, and Ukraine. The children wish. They plant their wishes through watermelon seeds. They want to be more than the statistics that you read. They won't stop fighting until the oppressed are freed. Because we give and we give, but they won't let us live. Ruling ourselves to serve others, haven't we given you our fathers and our brothers? How many more statistics do you need? We've got Trayvon Martin and Rashid, so many stories that you read, but you continue to let us bleed. Science says that despite it all, we continue to fight. It's in the rap lyrics that they recite. Lil Baby said it's bigger than black and white. It's in the history books that we rewrite. Let the sparks grow, let the fire ignite, because at the end of the day, we gonna be all right. Because science says that your heart is the same size as my fist. Your blood vessels mold into my thumb. Your veins and your arteries add up to my fingers like a sum, the same way that when I punch, your heart pumps. And when I fist bump, your heart beats. And when I breathe, your heart breathes. One heart, one fist. Together, we must resist. Thank you.
I didn't just want her to stop. Isn't that amazing? Talent. She's a student at the University of Ottawa. We love her. We love her with everything that we have. Like, I never get tired listening to her or watching her. I've watched her and watched her and watched her. And I pray that she will grow and grow, keep growing in that talent. Can we celebrate Aisha one more time? The students of the university, the black students of the University of Ottawa are students that are sponsored by Kaviwo. So they also have an event tonight that would have filled this place. There are so many of them. But they have an event tonight, which we will also be partaking in it. And so Aisha should be taking her leave now because she has to go help set up for that event that starts from 5 p.m. So thank you so much, Aisha, for joining us. Thank you for finding the time. We are just going to quickly move through to our second keynote speaker before we can eat. I know some people might be hungry, but we are going to listen to the second keynote speaker for tonight real quick. And that would be my very own spiritual father, Dr. Benjamin Moore. Dr. Benjamin Moore is the lead pastor and is a scholar and specializing in comparative politics. He is the lead pastor for Hope for All Nations Church, located on Bank Street here in Ottawa. He specializes in comparative politics, peace, governance, and development, holding a doctorate degree from the University of Ottawa and in the United Nations University for Peace. As a respected policy advisor, he is a member of expert groups for international organizations such as the African Union, NEPAD, and Scholar Superior Santa Ana. Beyond academia, he is the founder of the New Life Center for Family Welfare, Mental Health, and Faith, and the New Life Foundation Cameroon, providing holistic support to vulnerable communities. A cleric, he is also founder of the New Life International Gospel Center in Canada and other nations. Please welcome Pastor Benjamin Moore. He is going to be talking on intercultural and interfaith dialogue. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much for the privilege. It's an absolute joy to be with you all. And I'd like to start by expressing my profound gratitude to this wonderful and amazing lady for having obeyed the call and birthed this wonderful vision that is touching lives not only in this great nation of Canada, but in many other nations around the world. I also want to express my profound gratitude to the team that is working with her. Thank you so much for this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful event. And I want to also extend my gratitude to all of you who are present here this afternoon, but more especially to our wonderful speaker, Germaine, and the panelists. Just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Amazing delivery. Amazing delivery. And thank you, Aisha. Thank you. Thank you so much. This afternoon, in the interest of time, bonsoir à tout le monde. Let me try to copy what Germaine did. Je parle français, mais mon français n'est pas aussi impeccable, surtout les samedis après-midi. Si vous voulez me suivre parler français, il faut m'approcher peut-être lundi à vendredi et peut-être dimanche dans la nuit après ma tasse de thé. For those who don't understand French, I was just saying Germaine did a wonderful job. My assignment is very brief this afternoon, and I will be focusing on the dialogue between interculture and faith. And I would like to examine the nexus between those two. And my job has actually been made very easy because most of the things I wanted to touch on this afternoon, either Germaine touched on them or Loveline or maybe John. And Aisha also touched on that from a historical perspective. So a lot of the burden that I came with, they've helped me lift that up. Loveline said something which I want to use it as my point of entry. She said she intentionally refused to change her accent. A few years ago, I was a professor at the University of Ottawa, very young, shy, and I was given a course to teach, and it was Introduction to Research Methodology. I had just come from Cameroon. I had studied in Paris. My master's degree was at the European Institute for International and Strategic Studies. And when I came here, I did not know much about racism until I began doing a doctorate at the University of Ottawa. And shortly after that, I had the opportunity to teach. I went into class, first course. First day, a student lifted up her hand and said, "I have a question." I said, "What is the question?" She said, "Your accent is too heavy, and I can't hear you." I said, "No problem, yours is too light. I can't hear you too." It's not a problem. It's too light. You can't hear me, I can't hear you. Let's find a way to hear ourselves. And this is very, very important very, very important, for us to accept who we are and find ways not to deny ourselves to please others. The second thing I want to highlight before I get into my focus this afternoon is something that Germaine touched on earlier. When she spoke about the necessity of having not just the right skill set, but the importance of having the right tool set. This is very important. I say so because most of us have approached racism from the posture of victims, and it's not supposed to be so. We're not victims. We're not victims. John made a very profound point when, I think it was either Germaine or John, who said, you can bring your own seat where there is no seat, but you can't pull a seat to a table when your head is empty. You can't, and you can complain all you want. I am very, very excited because over my own community of influence for the last 6 weeks, one of the burdens that have been upon my heart is to teach our people about the necessity of capacity building, getting ready and not just waiting for the opportunity, but waiting and searching and building yourself so that when the opportunity shows up, it meets you ready. It meets you ready. So because my job has been facilitated and I talk for a living, I ask them how much time I have so I don't bore you. So I'm going to quickly cut through the chase. I would have loved to provide us with a bit of a historical perspective on this whole concept of racism and how it affects us. Our sister asked a question about the influence that we have when we move into a nation like this and the things that we come with. And racism is not just something that is now, it's something that has a historical background. And if we don't approach it from that perspective, then we miss out on a lot. Because a lot of what we are experiencing today, a lot of what we are facing today is a product of where we came from, how we grew up, how we were taught. I will reference Germaine again when she spoke about mindsets and how it's important for these mindsets to be changed, to be altered, to be redefined, reshaped. I think John equally touched on that because a mindset is a sum total of your belief systems. And that mindset can either be positive or negative. It becomes a problem and moves from a mindset and becomes a stronghold when that mindset is faulty and it is powered by other things that are wrong. So you migrate from a posture of a mindset, which is a sum total of what you believe, which may be positive, which may be good. But it's not just a mindset. It becomes a stronghold when it's a faulty mindset that you use to shape your life. And the reason why many of us are the way we are is because of this faulty mindset. Because we were perhaps taught that we were not better. We were maybe taught that because of our skin color, we are lacking. We have fallen short. And so we've grown up with that. And we've not just grown up with that, we've allowed that to shape how we think and even shape how we raise our children. I have 3 amazing boys. Wonderful boys. My joy plus their mother. So I don't get in trouble when I go back home. One of the things I do every single day is that before they go to school, I will call them, and as we pray, I'll remind them of who they are. So you're a champion. You're the best in your school. You're the head. There is nothing you cannot accomplish. There is nothing you cannot do. If you set your heart to do it and you work hard enough towards that thing, you will accomplish it. I hope you know that you are not just who you are by the decisions that you make when you're conscious. A good number of us are a product of our subconscious minds. The decisions you make when you're conscious is not what really defines you. It's not really what shapes you. What truly shapes a man, what truly shapes a woman, is who they are in their subconscious mind. Because that is what leads to your natural reaction, who you are subconsciously. And it's important for us to go back to that place and begin a very severe detoxification process, where some things that were taught which were false and that have made us think that we are victims are reorganized, are revisited, and probably changed. When it comes to racism and faith and culture, the speakers who spoke on Tuesday and on Thursday did a phenomenal job, so I won't get back into the definition of racism. But I would like to highlight the point that interfaith and multicultural context provide spaces where diverse religious and cultural traditions intersect. And these often leading to both challenges and opportunities in addressing racism. And I say this for one of several reasons. Because if not properly addressed, this intercultural and interfaith dialogue, or the fact that Canada is a melting pot that brings people from different nations, what was meant to be a blessing can actually end up being a severe challenge. How does racism manifest itself within the multicultural and interfaith spaces? Before I proceed, it's important for us to also note that Canada as a nation is aware that there is racism. It's aware. I came across an index not too long ago. I think it's the most tolerant index of the most tolerant states. I don't know if anybody has heard of those. And the first most tolerant nation in the world is New Zealand as of 2023 or 2024. And Canada was second. So my hope is that we will make Canada become first. That will make Canada become first, the number one most tolerant anti-racist state or nation in the world. Canada recognizes this through the many programs like Germaine touched on earlier. There was something that was done last year, 2024 to 2028, the Canada Anti-Racism Strategy, running from 2024 to 2028, which recognizes systemic racism in Canada, challenging systems. I think that was the theme, challenging system and transforming lives, if I remember correctly. How does this manifest in faith and intercultural spaces? Number one, through stereotyping and prejudice. Sometimes based on the different cultures that we have, which are technically meant to be a blessing, if not properly managed, they can become a stumbling block for the very thing that we seek to accomplish. And so because of that, there are certain religions and certain cultures, or certain religions that because of their cultural undertones, believe that things must be done in a specific way. And if that thing is not done in that specific way, it becomes a problem for them. Because assumptions about religions or cultural groups can enforce negative stereotypes, fueling discrimination and exclusions. We also see religious discriminations in these spaces. Why? Because certain faith traditions, yes, may be marginalized or treated as inferior, contributing to systemic inequalities. I was in Sudan not too long ago on the account of the African Union to do some work. And anybody who is familiar with the nation of Sudan and South Sudan, they were one nation. They were one nation before. And the raison d'etre of their division was simply because there was this discrepancy when it comes to religion. Because one group thought that they were better practitioners of that religion, number one. And number two, that the way they looked was better. The South Sudanese are generally very dark, very tall. And the Sudanese, most of them are very, very fair, I would say. The same thing in India. I do a lot of mission work in India. And for those who have an understanding of the caste system in India you can easily identify who is who by how they look. And so when we see people who look in a particular way, certain assumptions are made that fuel, that multiply racism. How does it also manifest within the faith structure and the intercultural spheres? By cultural superiority. Some cultural groups may perceive themselves and their traditions as superior, leading to implicit biases and excluding behaviors, where people think that if you don't pray the way I pray, if you don't act the way I pray, or you act the way I'm supposed to act, then you don't qualify to be in my space. And these may be people who are of the same color, who may even be from the same nation, but have different cultures. And because of this cultural difference, they turn to build a wall of separation instead of using culture as a tool that unites us, instead of using religion or faith as a weapon of unity. There is also structural racism and, of course, xenophobia and the fear of others. I have one of my kid sisters who is a professor at a university in Italy. The name is actually Scuola Superiore Sant'Anna. That's what you were trying to say. She moved to Italy, an amazing girl, wonderful girl, a great lover of children. And on one day, she decided just to go out for a walk. It was a beautiful Friday afternoon. And as she took a turn around a building, there was a woman with her 2 daughters walking towards her. And about maybe 5 to 10 steps away from her, when they lifted up their head and saw her, they screamed and began crying and ran across the other street. This girl is the most loving person I have ever come across. She's as peaceful as a dove. But just because of how she looks, and just like Aisha said, maybe because of the color of her skin, even babies thought that something is wrong with her and had to run for safety. The fear of others. The meaning of this is, if we have to fight this, dialogue becomes central. And there are several things that dialoguing and providing the kind of space that the Canada Virtuous Women is providing for us this afternoon will do. And this afternoon I have 5 of them, which in the interest of time, I will just quickly list. The reason why dialogue is important as a tool to mitigate racism, especially within the faith and intercultural space, is because through dialogue we can build understanding and empathy. Open conversations allow individuals to share personal experiences, breaking down stereotypes and fostering mutual respect. It's not every Muslim who is a terrorist. It's not every black who is a drug dealer. Get to know people. And the only way you can get to know people is when you talk to them. It's important for us to sit down around the table and have meaningful conversations, especially within the faith circles. Number 2, why is dialogue important? Because it is necessary in creating safe spaces. Interfaith and intercultural dialogues offer environments where people can express concerns, ask questions, address misunderstandings without fear of judgment. On Fridays during our Bible studies, when we are done teaching, we allow room for people who have questions. And sometimes people behave the way they behave because they have genuine concerns. They don't know. And if you don't provide opportunities for dialogue, then we've closed the door that is meant to actually help us. Number 3, why is dialogue important in intercultural and interfaith, the fight against racism? Because it promotes shared values. We must learn to highlight common ethical and moral principles across faith and cultures, which helps build solidarity against racism and discrimination. Most faiths at least have certain fundamental principles that are moral across the board. And you don't necessarily need to believe in what they believe in to agree that this is a morally upright principle. The 4th thing that it does is that it helps in influencing policy and social change. Dialogue leads to advocacy efforts that push for inclusive policies, anti-racism education, and equitable presentation in leadership. I want to wrap up with a story I want to share with you. It's a story of 3 men. Great men. Great men. One was an aristocrat, perhaps a wealthy businessman. His name was Philemon. Another one was a prisoner. His name was Paul. And the third was Onesimus. He was a slave. A tale of 3 men whose life had a common intersection, pretty much similar to what we are discussing this afternoon. Because Philemon was a wealthy man who thought that Onesimus was a piece of property, even though he was a human. Because he was rich and affluent, he paid money and bought another individual to serve him as a slave. And Aisha spoke to us about the slave trade, where many of us were devalued and considered to be property because of where we came from. And one day, Onesimus decided to escape. And he did not just escape and leave empty-handed. It is alleged from church history that he probably, I don't know, but that he probably took some things belonging to his master. And then he escaped and went down to Rome. And then he met this man whose name was Paul. But unfortunately, Paul had also been robbed of his freedom because he spoke. See, the issue with freedom of speech did not begin today. He was a preacher of the gospel who was locked up because of his belief system. And racism is not just discrimination based on the color of our skin. There is an undertone of it when it comes even to religion. And so he met Paul. Paul was a prisoner, met this man who is a slave, and then spoke to him about Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God. Onesimus was convicted and opened up his heart and began a relationship with Jesus Christ. But Paul, seeking equality, took his time to write a letter. And he gave that letter to Onesimus and said, go back to Philemon. And in verse number 15 and 16 of that letter, Paul is admonishing Onesimus. Paul is admonishing Philemon. He said, this man was a slave. He was worthless. But now he's useful. He escaped from you, a crime that is punishable by death. But I am sending him back to you. And if you read verse 16 of Philemon chapter 1, he says, I want you to receive him. But this time around, I don't just want you to receive him as a slave. Receive him as a brother, dearly beloved. Because in Christ, there is no discrimination. You may be rich and I am poor, but our relationship and our union with Christ provides equilibrium. And it is not just in his letter to Philemon. He also emphasizes this in his writing to the Galatians. In Galatians chapter 3, he will make a statement in verse number 26 through 28, where he says, in Christ, there is no Greek, there is no Jew, there is no male, there is no female. We all are one in Christ. And this unity, this equity, was procured by Jesus Christ when he laid down his life for mine and for yours. He paid the price for our sins, that we all may be reconciled to God and become one with the commonwealth of the Father. Have a beautiful evening.
Thank you so much. Amazing. Are we having a good time? All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Benjamin Moore. We're just going to do a little tweak before we get the responses of the panelists tonight, just because we have a member of parliament in the house, and her time with us is very short. And so I would have to pause a little bit and give her the opportunity to speak to us tonight. But before they come, just to give us a little bit of mental break, I'm going to ask the children to come give you a little presentation for 5 minutes. And then after that, then you will come up. So are they ready? Are the children ready? Good job. I know you guys are always ready. Please come up. Please come up and do your presentation. And then after that, we will allow the member of parliament to speak, and then we will get our panelists to come up. I will put this behind so you guys can have enough space. Good, good. Is it only 2 of you? Good job. Wow.
There comes a time when we hear you send call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying, and it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can go on pretending day by day that's our one giving.
Wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amazing, amazing. Thank you. We're so happy for our kids tonight. They did an amazing job. We thank them all. I'm gonna need a microphone, and we're gonna give the time to the MP, Marie-France Lalonde. Can we chair? Can we welcome Marie-France Lalonde? And she is the MP for Orleans. Thank you so much.
Well, this is a very tough act to follow, I must say. Almost not fair. But thank you very much for allowing me to say a few words on this very important aspect. Dear community leaders, guests, comment allez-vous? How's everyone doing? It is a great privilege to be able to join you here today for the wonderful intercultural exchange and to speak with you on the powerful topic of multiculturalism, united against racism, empowering Black Canadians for inclusion and unity. And when you see our leaders of today, this young group of wonderful people who come and tell us and remind us, we are the world. Canada is a beautiful country, but there's so much more that we can do. As we end Black History Month, I want to give a particular thank you to Adeline, who actually happens to live, I believe, in my community of Alea, and Canadian virtuous woman, for the invitation and for helping organize many workshops and events over the course of the past week. Canada has long been celebrated as a country that embraces multiculturalism, a nation built on the values of diversity, respect, and inclusions. Our multicultural policy, introduced in 1971, and I will say that's the year I was born, was a bold step towards ensuring that every culture could thrive and contribute to the Canadian identity. Yet, while we have made great strides, we must also acknowledge that barriers still exist and racism remains an issue, sadly, of today. Le Canada est depuis longtemps reconnu comme un pays qui valorise le multiculturalisme, une nation fondée sur les valeurs de la diversité, de respect et d'inclusion. Notre politique sur le multiculturalisme, introduite en 1971, qui coïncide avec ma date d'anniversaire, a été une étape importante pour assurer que chaque culture puisse s'épanouir et contribuer à l'identité canadienne. Cependant, bien que nous ayons fait de grands progrès, nous devons également reconnaître que des obstacles existent toujours et que le racisme demeure un problème aujourd'hui, malheureusement. Empowering Black Canadians is about providing equal opportunities and a seat at the table, whether it's in the classroom, the workplace, or in politics. We must create spaces where their voices are heard, their stories are told, and their contributions are celebrated. A critical aspect of this empowerment, and I would say as a former business person, I would say it's in business. Black entrepreneurs and businesses owners bring fresh perspectives, innovation, and economic opportunities to all of our communities. In empowering our Black Canadians, we must ensure that the business community becomes an inclusive space for all entrepreneurs, regardless of their background, and I would say further, of their gender. We also know that women, Black entrepreneurs, have the most difficult access to capital. Supporting Black businesses, providing access to capital, and creating mentorship programs for aspiring Black business leaders can help unlock a wealth of untapped potential, which in turn strengthen our economy and society as a whole. And this is something that I and our government wholeheartedly believed in. It is why we have presented numerous policies over the last number of years to address systemic racism, to remove barriers, and to provide Black Canadians with support and resources to thrive and continue to bring positive contribution to communities across Canada. Let me emphasize that creating a fairer and more just Canada is a collective responsibility. All of us as Canadians have a whole role to play in creating a society where everyone, regardless of their race, feels safe, valued, and heard. Je tiens à souligner que la création d'un Canada plus juste et plus équitable est une responsabilité collective. And this is why events such as this one are so important, where various communities can come together to highlight their cultures, to share their histories and traditions. This is the best of Canada, and our government needs to thrive even more in supporting organizations like Canada Virtuous Women. I was very pleased to reach out to the organizer not too long ago to announce that we would be funding $40,250 in helping this incredible initiative and to provide an opportunity to highlight this important topic. So Canada provides the money, but it's everyone who writes the grants and puts the efforts of putting together these wonderful events that we should celebrate today. So I want to just say thank you very much. And I know the world right now is shocked. There's so many things happening. But I just want to reassure you that our government has and will always stand up for inclusion, equality, and a fair Canada for all. Merci beaucoup. Merci d'avoir été à l'écoute. I wish you all a very nice evening.
Please give it up for Marie-France Lalonde.
Thank you. Thank you. Can I have a hug? I'll give this back to you so I don't take your mic away. There you go. Thanks again.
Wow. Thank you again. Thank you for coming. And with all your entourage, we say thank you. Thank you, Emile, for making this happen, for organizing this. Thank you. We really, really appreciate the government of Canada for all the support. And we will not fail. We have been doing these activities all week long, and the online ones too were so amazing. We have the recordings on our YouTube channel. So thank you so much for what you do for the community of Orleans. And we are behind you all the way. Our support is with you, the Black community, because the majority of these women live in the Orleans community. So thank you. It actually started there. So we started there, even though we are all over Canada and we even extend beyond Canada to other countries, but it started in Orleans. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to move forward. We're just going to have a response from two panelists. We will do that tonight, a response to what Dr. Benjamin said today. And so I will invite two panelists that are the clergy. Excuse me, I need to put on my glasses. We will have a quick response from them. And so can I have to the stage Reverend Denise Allen McCartney? Reverend Denise Allen McCartney has pastored Gloucester Presbyterian Church, Ottawa, for over 15 years, leading a diverse community for 30-plus countries, a diverse community from 30-plus countries in discovering God's compassion and neighborhood care. Previously, she spent 6 years as Director of Communication at Fidos Systems and ran her own business, providing training and communications consulting across Canada. She serves on the board of the Presbyterian College, Montreal, and the Mercia Zombie Heart Foundation. Denise finds joy in Jesus' love and resilient hope. She and her husband, Alan, have 2 adult children, their spouses, and 8 grandchildren, and enjoy canoeing, skiing, cycling, and hiking. So, the next panelist that I want to invite is Pastor James Hart. Pastor James Hart is the pastor of the Parkwood Church, Ottawa, and clerk of the Presbytery of Ottawa in the Presbyterian Church in Canada. Before moving to Ottawa in 2001, he pastored for 10 years in New Brunswick and 5 years in Northern Alberta. He holds a BA in history and a master's in divinity from the University of Toronto and Knox College. James Hart is also president of the Can't Have Children's Center, Inc., an Ottawa-based charity supporting AIDS orphans in Uganda for the past 30 years. Additionally, he serves on the Parkwood Hills Stakeholders Community, working to strengthen services for disadvantaged newcomers. I'm going to call Nafisatu to just give us a brief resume of what Dr. Benjamin said so that we can kickstart from there, so that if anybody forgot, you can get a quick resume of it so that the panelists can then take it away. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to make a brief summary. We were really captivated by what the speaker number 2 also said. You guys really chose well your speakers. So the speaker was mostly insisting on the importance that as we draw our chair on the table of executive, we need to make sure that we have the abilities, the qualification. As a community of color, we need to be able to rise beyond the victim system and really bring something substantial on the table. Il est important de pouvoir ne pas juste se présenter comme une victime, mais on doit aussi avoir quelque chose de potent à mettre sur la table. Nous ne sommes pas ce que nous sommes juste à cause de ce que les autres disent, mais notre manière de penser, notre manière d'agir et les choses que nous faisons déterminent vraiment où nous allons dans la vie. Si nous prêtons attention au dialogue et aux interactions interculturelles, nous devons apporter un point culminant à comment est-ce qu'ils sont gérés. Parce qu'au lieu d'être une bénédiction, ils pourront devenir un challenge pour nous. Alors, comment est-ce qu'ils se manifestent dans le milieu interculturel? Premièrement, on a beaucoup de stéréotypes et beaucoup de préjudices. Certaines traditions ou certaines religions se pensent supérieures aux autres. Et ce qui fait en sorte que certaines personnes peuvent se sentir lésées et nous avons même des temps de séparation. Il y a des personnes qui pensent aussi que si tu ne me ressembles pas ou si tu n'agis pas comme moi, alors tu n'as pas accès à mon espace. On voit aussi de la xénophobie et du racisme structurel. Si nous devons lutter contre ceci, nous devons encourager un bon dialogue, et ce pour les raisons suivantes. Premièrement, c'est pour construire la compréhension et l'empathie. On doit briser ces stéréotypes et apprendre à connaître les autres pour qui ils sont et pas pour la réputation qu'ils ont. Il est nécessaire de créer des environnements sécurisés pour des échanges où des personnes peuvent poser des questions et partager leurs fardeaux. Il est aussi important de promouvoir les valeurs partagées car nous pouvons vraiment apprendre les uns des autres et pouvoir partager nos valeurs, pas nécessairement adhérer à elles, mais certainement prendre le positif qu'il y en a. Et enfin, promouvoir les valeurs inclusives et donner une plateforme à ceux qui n'ont pas de voix. Merci.
Thank you so much for honoring our invitation, Pastor Denise and Pastor James. I just wanted us to have a dialogue about intercultural and interfaith based on what Dr. Benjamin said. But my first question would be, have you ever encountered like racism as clergy in the church? And what was your response, or how do you deal with that? Because I know you deal with, like it says, 30 different countries in your church. That is huge. It means that you have like the whole world in your church. So how do you manage these people? And I know for sure, because I know you, and I know for sure that you love people and you like our community. You've ministered on our platform so many times. But how do you manage these diverse communities, and what would you say about intercultural and interfaith dialogue?
What big question. I am just grateful for the community of Gloucester Church, and there's some people here who have been part of this community. Some people have visited our community. It's a remarkable place, and maybe I just haven't been looking, but I have not seen racism occurring in this congregation. I think there are a few things that I think contribute to making it so harmonious. One is that we have a leadership which is very diverse. We have sought to and prayed for and listened to the Lord and sought people who could be part of our leadership team who are representing different countries. So that makes a difference. There's a great sense of welcome in the community, and I don't know, I don't see it the way somebody does first coming in, not knowing anybody. That's not my experience. But I hear that people feel welcome. Pretty much anybody feels welcome coming in. There's one story that I would love to share with you that I think, to me, epitomizes the relationship that God invites us to cultivate. And it involves the namesake of the foundation of whose board I sit on, the Mercy Azombi Heart Foundation. Some of you knew Ma Mercy Azombi when she was in Ottawa. And those of you who don't, she was a wonderful woman, young mom, who suffered a debilitating illness and harrowing experiences after that through the health care that she needed. So at one point, I was visiting Mercy in hospital. She was in hospital for months. I was visiting her and praying, God, how do I minister to this woman whom I had only just met, and she was experiencing these big challenges. At the same time, an older white gentleman who had just started coming to the church with his wife, brand new to church, didn't have any church experience. He was experiencing a major health crisis in the same hospital. So I would visit both of them on like 3 or 4 floors separate from each other. And they were both in such a stressful situation. And the Lord suggested that they ought to pray for each other. They had never yet met each other. And so when I visited Mercy and when I visited this man, Vic, I asked them, could I share their story with the other one? And I was able to tell them these experiences, and they started to pray for each other. The bit of the story that I think is important is that Vic had grown up in London, Ontario, in a rough part of town, and he told me the only black people he had ever met were people he fought with. This was his experience. Like, this was a man who had prejudices. And his wife from the same area had grown up in the same environment. But they began praying for Mercy and her husband, Solomon. And they learned that Mercy and Solomon were praying for them. And it was about 2 or 3 months later that they met each other for the first time at the church with tears and embracing. And they went together to the front of the church after the service, all by themselves, and sat there together before the Lord and prayed together. And that friendship changed the lives of those 4 people, and I think it ripples through our community still, yeah.
This is a beautiful story. And I'm going to ask the same question to Pastor James about your encounter with a multicultural community, because I know that you do have black people in your church. So what is your experience in regards to intercultural and interfaith?
Can you hear me okay? Yeah. I will answer the question, but I want to start in a slightly different place. I grew up in a very white community in Northern Ontario. But at the time, I cannot remember in my own life ever sensing that there was a difference of significance between different races. We were French and we were English, but in grade 5, my teacher, and it was a man, came from West Indies. And he and his family were living in the community, and he was my grade 5 teacher. And I felt very much mentored and supported. So much so that at the end of grade 5, he decided with the school authorities that I shouldn't go to grade 6. I should go to grade 7. I don't know if they still do that sort of skipping along that they did in that case. But a few years later, when I was in high school, my English teacher was also a black man. And he encouraged me in faith because I had to write an essay dealing with science and evolution and faith and Christianity. And I wrote the essay, and he gave me a grade of 97%, which I never expected. I didn't like English class, and I had really little interest in studying English. But then, when I got to university and I wasn't doing so well studying math and physics, God eventually persuaded me that I should go into pastoral ministry, and I found myself majoring in history and doing a minor in English. Now, I say that by way of background to come to this point. I have always, in my experience in university and subsequently, felt that we are one people across the races, across all cultures. And so when I came to Parkwood in 2001, I was delighted to find that we had people of various nationalities and backgrounds. But what has happened over the past 20-odd years is that we haven't reached 30, but we are 27 countries of origin in our congregation. Now, I will say, and I heard many things this afternoon that were very stimulating and helpful from the different speakers. I will say that there is a key need for pastors, executives, business entrepreneurs to be intentional about inviting people to positions of leadership. We did not have, although I had been part of a church in Toronto that had a multiracial leadership among the elders, we did not have, at the time I came, representation. And they had in the past, but the person had moved elsewhere. And so I sort of said, we need to be intentional. And I went to one elderly individual whom the congregation had discerned as having gifts for leadership. He was from Guyana. And I said, the congregation wants to call you to eldership. And he said, no, I'm too old. I said, no, you're not. I said, you will be an example, and others will follow. And now we have multiplied those who are in the eldership. And God willing, we will still multiply, because we have now got people from so many different nationalities involved in the congregation. and they see reflected in the leadership that here is where we need to be affirmed. There is an equal place for us, and that in and of itself is the way the church grows. So I would say it is very important that each one, regardless of where origin may be, it is very important that each one be open to the call of God to serve in the community where you are now living. And that is the witness that we bring to others.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. One last question for each one of you. My last question would be that what would be the advice that you would give to the young or the immigrants that just come and they are looking for somewhere like to belong to a community? And many of them, because most of them, they come and they are looking for, maybe they want to just look for a church that is an African church or this, and they don't want to come to, maybe they come to a church and maybe they see that, oh, the pastor is white, maybe I might not understand them, or this is not as this. What advice would you give to people like that? Because I'm sure that we've had situations like that. And I would have also loved to ask that as well to Pastor Benjamin, what advice he would give to the people, let's say, white people that come to church and maybe they wanted to only go to churches that have white people.
Thank you. What a great question. I think one of the things I want to say to all of you here is how grateful I am, and many of the people of Gloucester Church and elsewhere, how grateful we are to those of you with strong faith who come from various countries and come here. You are missionaries in Canada. Canada is a mission field. And, you know, my contemporaries, I grew up in a largely white neighborhood, but not entirely. But my contemporaries many of them have abandoned church. I had many kids in my Sunday school class when I was a child. Most of those people no longer go to church. Yeah. But it is people who have come from African countries, from West Indian countries, from wherever, who are bringing life and deep faith, and who are teaching the children in the Sunday schools at Gloucester, in the Sunday school at Gloucester Church, the youth group at Gloucester Church. So we are grateful. So I want to just put that out there and say, I thank God for people who have come to this country and who are enriching the faith of many. In answer to your question, I would say, coming back to what Jermaine said about people not needing to be in the room, needing to make the connections, we need to make intercultural connections, whether we are white or black or indigenous or whatever. We need to be in communities that are diverse so that we can together find a better way forward, so that we can make those networking connections, so that we can bless and learn from each other. Yeah, so
thank you so much. And you, Pastor James?
I am very glad that there are people who have singing and dancing in different genres from the one in which I grew up. And what I truly try to work at amongst some of those older, more, how shall I put it, reticent and at times off-putting native-born Canadians who look askance at newcomers. I say, get a life, if I can put it that way. Some of us grew up in a tradition where the only way that was deemed acceptable to worship God was to sit and with no musical accompaniment to simply sing the metrical version of the Psalms in language that came from 1560. I love doing that, but worship and life is so much more when we have
Different cultures.
a tambourine
Yeah.
and a maraca
Yeah.
and those who stand and not only wave but dance and bring forward their offerings in great cultural decor, dress, fashion. All of that is a true expression of who the people, who all of you are,
Yeah.
and to the praise of God.
Yeah.
So we must ensure, and I try to create space for those kind of expressions of vibrant worship that are a reflection of each of our different cultures.
Exactly.
That is the church
Yeah.
that brings glory to God.
Yeah.
And that is what attracts others who are not believers to faith.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. And you, Pastor Benjamin, I would the same question for the other people.
In my opinion, one of the things that is important for us to do is at two levels. I think at one level, it has to do with the pastors, the leaders of the church, being open and intentional in creating an environment that is inclusive, ensuring that no matter your background, you can find a safe space where you can worship God in spite of where you're coming from, in spite of your background, in spite of your educational level. That space must be created.
Yeah.
Number two is on the side of the Christians themselves.
Yeah.
You must not come, again, it's what we are talking about, stereotypes and mindsets.
Yeah.
We are part of the body of Christ, and not every member of the body is the same.
Yeah.
But everyone serves the other.
Yeah.
So you coming into a white church, like Pastor James is saying, you come in with that energy, with that. For him, he said he knew that it's only, you have to worship God in a very calm, quiet way. But this person from a different culture and a background brings something different. And together, when they bring what they have, I bring what I have, you bring what you have, we build an environment that brings glory and honor where Jesus Christ is glorified.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. We can take our seats. I appreciate your input, your contributions tonight. Thank you so much. And for those that wonder where culture comes into the church, I'm sure that they did justice to that. Anybody has a question? Because me just wearing this dress is a cultural dress. It tells you where I come from. And so when I wear it to church, maybe they say, like last Sunday, we went to St. Timothy Presbyterian Church. They had the Black History Month thing. And you could see the Africans wearing all their African clothes there. That's how we bring culture into it and bring life into it with our worship, with our dance, different styles of dance. That's how we bring it into it. Somebody has a question before we move to the next thing? I think the buffet is open. The food is open. We want to allow people to go and eat. So we would start with our speakers. Please just make your way to the back, grab something to eat, and then we will have another cultural dance. So a dance here, a couple of women will display. And we also have, we still have 2 or 3 dances before we go. So make sure you enjoy the cultural part of the event, which comes with dancing. We have a fashion parade. There is some people here to parade. So please just make your way to the back. We start with our speakers, and then the people on the next row just follow with them and go eat, please. Please, let's go grab something to eat and then just sit right back, and then we will enjoy the dances.
What's be the source of my happiness? I tell them,
Dans le calme du plus profond de mon cœur que je te cherche. Là où se trouve ta demeure, moi je veux être.
We also have a survey on the screen, and you can scan to participate in the survey. We will have some raffle tickets. We will have some winners for the participants in the survey. Let us know what you think about the event. So please take part in the survey.
Plus profond de mon cœur que je te cherche. Là où se trouve ta demeure, moi je veux être. Même si tout semble noir ailleurs, ouvre les yeux de mon cœur. Ouvre les yeux de mon cœur et me voici, les bras grands ouverts, disposés à faire ta volonté. Me voici, les bras grands ouverts, disposés à faire ta volonté. C'est pourquoi je dis descends, descends, descends. C'est ma prière, ma prière. Descends, descends, descends. Mais c'est dans le calme, c'est dans le calme du plus profond de mon cœur que je te cherche. Là où se trouve ta demeure, moi je veux être. Même si tout sans moi autour, ouvre les yeux de mon cœur, et me voici, moi je suis disposée à faire ta volonté. Me voici, les bras grands ouverts, disposée à faire ta volonté. C'est pourquoi je crie descends, 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 descends. Si tu me crois digne de faire ta volonté, c'est pourquoi je dis descends, descends, descends. Moi j'ai besoin de toi, oh moi j'ai soif de toi. Descends, descends. Moi je crie à toi, moi je crie à toi. Si tu me crois digne de faire ta volonté, descends, que tu descends, descends, que tu descends. Je n'irai pas sans une parole de toi. Aïe, 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 sana malisa de blasi, le candio si abadi dede, le mania de satikari abasa. Je me tiens sur ta montagne, je me tiens sur ta montagne, descends. Je me tiens près du canal, je me tiens près du canal, descends. Je me tiens sur ta montagne, je me tiens sur ta montagne, je me tiens sur ta montagne, descends. Je me tiens près du canal, je me tiens près du canal, je me tiens près du canal, descends. Je me tiens sur ta montagne, je me tiens sur ta montagne, je me tiens sur ta montagne, descends. Je me tiens près du canal, je me tiens près du canal, je me tiens près du canal, descends. Descends, descends. Ainsi le monde attend la révélation des fils de Dieu. Oh, moi je veux que tu te révèles à moi, afin que je puisse me révéler à ton peuple. Descends. See me every day, now your way. The way you love me, I'm amazed by your way. You pamper me, oh Lord, I'm your baby. Nothing fit come between us, no way. 10,000 on my left and my right, but I fire down. By your grace, I walk on water and I'm winning now. I view from the mountain top, from the standard now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's by your grace I win. It's your grace, me, I trust it all the way. It's your grace intoxicating me, I'm high. It's your grace, Baba, I know fit use and play. By your grace, I go sing out every day. Imela, imela, oh kaka. Imela, imela, oh kaka. Imela, imela, eze. Imela, imela, oh kaka.
Say, your grace is enough for me. It be rock solid when I stand on it. Your cross is a blood tonic. Victory over my shortcomings, no be ordinary life. So that the spirit no be ordinary knife. Holy Ghost fire no be ordinary lighter. I've got the power to the trample on the viper. Come on, you know the way. Jesus the corner, him a the kuku bekelele. Him on the tea for the place, mama mere. Okukundon parada, wama parada. Oya applaudi say, Kaya the day for the King of Glory and no one in there. Christ in me be like it's a holiday. For my life I defend you because of your grace. Cause
It's your grace, me, I trust it all the way. It's your grace intoxicating me, I'm high. It's your grace, Baba, I know fit use and play. By your grace, I go sing am every day. Imela, imela, oh kaka. Imela, imela, oh kaka. Imela, imela, and I'm winning now. I view from the mountain top, I'm the standard now. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's by your grace I win, 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 win.
There is original ginger at the back. There is a ginger drink there. So if you are fighting cold, there is a ginger drink right there. It is blue ginger, homemade ginger. So go grab a cup. Anybody that has a cold, please head on there and get ginger. It is actually handmade, homemade. I can guarantee you it is pure ginger. I crushed the ginger myself.
Ọmọ bàbá.
Lady what?
Tèmi ṣe.
Nípa who?
Nípa ìgbàgbọ́ nínú Jésù.
Say what? Say what?
Ṣebí bàbá mi.
Lónìí náà o.
Lónìlẹ̀ o.
Let's go.
Kí máa yọ fanda, 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 kí máa yọ fanda.
Are you ready for stage two? Are you ready for stage two? 1, 2, 3, let's go, say.
Ìdèmí ti já, ṣẹ̀kẹ̀ṣẹ̀kẹ̀ ti bọ́, ọ̀run ti ṣí, ire mi wọlé dé. Mo ti lálùyọ, omi lórí skyscraper. Mo ti wà lókè, má lọ́nà gẹ̀rẹ̀, wá bá mi lókè.
I am his own, I'm seated in his glory. If you look me, you can see, say, I am over.
Why does it then get bust? It doesn't bust in my brain.
Everywhere you go, I dig up, and you know me.
Ọmọ bàbá.
Lady what?
Tèmi ṣe.
I can hear you.
Nípa ìgbàgbọ́.
Say what? Say what?
Nínú Jésù.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ṣebí bàbá mi.
You don't mean it.
Lónìlẹ̀ o.
Let's go.
Kí máa yọ fanda, 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 kí máa yọ fanda. Mélòdì mọ̀rọ̀, inú ọ̀rẹ́ tí bàbá ṣe.
Can you count it?
Mélòdì kìsà, inú ọ̀rẹ́ tí bàbá ṣe.
Can you think of it?
Mélòdì mọ̀rọ̀, inú ọ̀rẹ́ tí bàbá ṣe.
Of course.
Mélòdì kìsà, inú ọ̀rẹ́ tí bàbá ṣe. Orí rẹ̀ máa pọ̀.
When I think of the goodness of Jesus and all he has done for me, I know be count, I know be count, I know be count.
Orí rẹ̀ máa pọ̀.
You the try counter, I know be counter. You the try counter, I know be counter. It's plenty joy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, spirit of prophecy. This is definitely the time of the year. Counting the goodness of Jesus and reflecting our authority in Christ as sons and daughters of Jesus, of the Most High. God bless you.
When the storm the rage, I go calm down. And if I jam me out, I go still rejoice and I don't lie. I mean I can't lie. The way they do me now, I just wanna boogie down. And I get you No matter the weather, titi lai. I'm gonna praise you forever, titi lai. Titi
Make way for one of the best. And I know you didn't see this coming. Spirit of prophecy, let's go. Say what?
Glory to the newborn King.
What you say?
At the herald angels sing.
Glory.
Glory to the newborn King.
Everybody up there.
At the herald angels sing.
Glory.
Glory to the newborn King. At the herald angels sing. Glory to the newborn King. Foko foluwa olùgbàlà, foko foluwa olùràpadà. Ògo, ògo bàbá ògo, ògo bàbá ògo, ògo bàbá ògo, ògo bàbá ògo. Glory to God the Father, Christ He gave us His only Son. Glory to Jehovah, Jesus Christ the Savior is born. Glory to Messiah, glory to the reigning King. Glory to the Counselor, for He shall be called Wonderful. Wonder, 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 wonder. Ògo f'Olúwa olùgbàlà, ògo f'Olúwa olùràpadà. Ògo, ògo bàbá 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 ògo.
The king don come. To seek and to save. Person wey don lost. Ó ṣẹ́rú dọmọ. Olùgbàlà tó rà wá padà. Ọba aládé àlàáfíà máa rí ẹjọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ yìn Jésù lógo.
Everybody in there. Come on up. Move your body. Say what? Move your hands. Okay. Definitely a job you must listen to wherever you are now. Just move your hands. Move your body. Where you dancing to?
On dit de toi que tu es la source. On dit que de ton sein coulent des fleurs d'eau vive. On dit que celui qui en boit n'aura plus soif. Assoiffé, je viens m'abreuver comme un cours d'eau. Jaillit, jaillit, toi la source intarissable. Jaillit, jaillit, comme un courant d'eau. Jaillit, jaillit, toi la source intarissable. Jaillit, jaillit.
so daily. My hands are till I know they worry to my goodness till we just need me. Solution my deal. I know they bother myself, you know they delay. We just so daily. My hands are till I know they worry to my goodness till but they just need me. Solution my deal. I know they bother myself, you know they delay. Comfortable in the touch, in my life, let you giving me joy, plenty vibe. Me I know fit explain no why, but I know you are good till lie. I press when me I get now, my guy. They reason with me, day or night time. You love me so much, left the 9. Let them know you are good all the time. Only go move me so long, every day love me so long, blessing coming up on me every morning, every moment. Go to the week, go to not to be what to my dome, I know say you do for me every day. You believe say me, no go to me, will never ever borrow lie, no sir. We are going where you promise me. Papa, don't go ever lie to me. We just so daily. My hands are till I know they worry to my goodness till we just need me. Solution my deal. I know they bother myself, you know they delay. We just so daily. My hands are till I know they worry to my goodness till but they just need me. Solution my deal. I know they bother myself, you know they delay. We just so daily. My hands are till I know they worry to my goodness till but they just need me. Solution my deal. I know they bother myself, you know they delay. Got it.
All right. We're just going to continue while eating so that we can hurry up and go. Can I have BJ, please? BJ has a speech. Aha, come on, guys. BJ. Where is BJ? All right. Can I have BJ? Give me a microphone.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, Auntie Head Girl and Canada Virtuous Women for giving me the chance to share my story. My name is Beltis Yami. I live in London, Ontario, riding the bus to school and playing in the playground and the schoolyard. Community sometimes is not a fun fact. Just because of my skin color, I've been called dirty to fat. My hair has been called shit and tree roots. All those things I cannot begin to say here. I've been laughed at looking different. And yes, I've been pushed, pulled, slapped, and kicked. Did these things make me sad? Yes. Did I address them? Yes. I reported to the bus driver, the teacher, my class teacher, and my mom. Was there a change? Sometimes. Was there a change in my behavior? Yes. I told myself that I could not belong where I am bullied and pushed out. So I made friends with kids that looked like me. In a friendship circle, I discovered I was loved and treated nicely. So I asked my lovely mom, Marilyn Anna, what was the way forward? And she gave me the best life lesson. Know who you are in God, and the rest does not really matter. Showcase you to the world, black or white or whatever. Just love everyone, but respect yourself enough that they know to know that they owe you nothing. Canada is my country, and I deserve to be heard and seen as an amazing human being. Parents, have you ever wondered what's going on in your child's mind? Whenever they come back from school, they always say school was good or break down and cry. Please, always ask them to speak up. Some of us hide it, and it can ruin our mental health. Like causing your child not to believe in themselves and think they're weak and not enough. Kids, speak up before things can get worse. True love and inclusion come from God. He made us for His image, for a reason. Race does not define us, and accent does not define us. Visual stamp does not define us. We are human beings. We deserve better. Let us stand united against racism. Let us strive for inclusion. Let our diversity to build a better Canada. Long live Canada. Long live Canada versus women. Thank you. This is all I have to say today.
Can we give it up for BJ? He's telling you his story. Thank you so much, BJ.
Good job. Good job.
Good job. I wanted BJ to say it so that you can hear what the kids have to say. Know what they experience in school, the things that sometimes they go through. This is just BJ's story, but so many of those kids seated there have different stories that they tell their mom. And that's one of the things, or some of the things that we discuss when we come together on the Canada Virtuous Women platform. How to empower our kids because they do go through this daily. So we wanted you to hear BJ's story and know that BJ's story can be your child's story as well. So thank you so much, BJ. We're going to call on another group of dancers. Are we ready? All right, we are ready. So bring it on.
Go and bring the calabash of culture in diversity. Go with the gods of the land.
I'll be picking for Bamenda. I was born in Bamenda. I shall die a Bamendian. In my next follow, oh, I won't be in a Bamendian. I'll be picking for Bamenda. I was born in Bamenda. I shall die a Bamendian.
Pass me the light.
In my next follow, oh, I won't be in a Bamendian. I'll be picking for Bamenda. I was born in Bamenda. I shall die a Bamendian. In my next follow, oh, I won't be in a Bamendian. I'll be picking for Bamenda. I was born in Bamenda. I shall die a Bamendian. In my next follow, oh, I won't be in a Bamendian.
Bobe from Bello, the
Now so would the mala the thing we from who be kings and queens and no be chindana chiefs and from the hills to the fields keep fresh keep clean ancestors on wheels and moji and the river lick it la lick it fa lick it tam lick it tan lick it shabos lick it lam you the one say I be thinking for Mamenda I was born in Mamenda Ashada in Mamenda Imanezolo I want me in Mamenda no mash fire papa I be thinking for Mamenda I was born in Mamenda Ashada in Mamenda Maxi Imanezolo I want me in Mamenda no Mamenda people yo Vinora wanogambura from northwest to southwest, Bamenda people everywhere. I be picking for my fair and I enjoy one hospitality. When the married with the born picking Bamenda people, now we moyo them. Give me fufu con with the jama jama lantari and sumo achua.
Gatti gatti anja papa oh, graphi sutura babi oh. Yes I know we're bigger, together we're stronger oh. On my pillow, Bamenda ipikwa, ayo mukola oh, just hello. Si tu veux savoir, Abiba mi leke pikin, benam lo, asisi miso, afi be my sikin, sekep, sek dum dugum, dugulukum, dum gudum, benam lo, asisi miso, afi be my sikin.
For me circle, for me circle, wider, wanna give me that sasigala, oh, sasigala na dance over mena, sasigala na dance over mena. Oh, come on, wanna give me that sasigala, oh, sasigala na dance over mena, sasigala na dance over mena. Come Quintus, wanna take off for one side, one side,
So we are going to call on the Bafut Manjong. Bafut Manjong.
Yuma
body ting ting, ting ting body body ting ting, oh you ting ting body body ting ting.
Oh my God. Don't you just love the Bafut Manjong? Can we give it up for them again? This is so good. We're having a good time. Now we're going to have a fashion parade. Fashion parade. Where are they? If you have a beautiful African dress on, you qualify for the fashion parade. All right? Are we ready for the fashion parade? If the fashion parade is delaying, I'm going to take another dance because we still have the Manu dance. So don't go anywhere. We still have the Manu dance and they must dance. All right, I see the fashion parade coming. Go ahead.
He was playing.
Need more plays, yeah. Okay, me. That's okay, entertain me. Another life, nothing to get me. You to bless me on a daily. You know I get it when you tell me no. This thing where I want to go, hug me, oh. You save me from myself. You're so intentional.
Where are the fashion parade ladies? Come on. Bring it on.
You command. I'm not gonna move till you command. Me, I go there when you command. But I go run if you command. Yeah, I cover me, you cover me. Yeah, in my eyes I losing it for me. You be my desire. I need it for my fire. Tell nobody to December. Now you be my sustainer.
Parade, please go ahead. We're waiting for you. Come on, fashion parade. Don't keep us waiting. Fashion parade behind, please come forward.
to explain it, explain it. So it's a supernaturally something, but than ordinary uncommon. They pamper me a lot. It is same, you never change color. Supernaturally something.
All right, there they come. Fashion parade.
Explain it, oh. Love, lele. Love, lele.
This way, Isla, this way. Come on. You guys are going. No, we haven't even seen your dresses. Come on.
Explain it, oh.
Your love really make me shiver.
Come on. So pose for us.
You bring me nearer.
Come on. All right. Aha. Look at Princess Isla. Look at them. Woo.
Feeling me like a river. Got a feeling in my soul.
Aha. All right. All right. Come on.
Feeling me like a river. Honestly.
And where are the mothers? Aha. The chiefs are coming. The chiefs are coming. Woo! Look at them! Look at Nelly! I'm gonna put this microphone down. This is getting interesting. All right, all right, all right, all right. Look at them! Woo! Oh my God! Look at the chiefs. Look at the chiefs. And the queen. There is a queen among the chiefs. There is a queen among them. Ah. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Wow. Wow. Look at all the beautiful outfits. Please take a lot of pictures. Take a lot of pictures. I love the outfits. Oh my world. My God, Sister Rose, this is made in South Africa. Your headpiece. This is something else. Wow, wow. Can we give it up for the fashion parade? Can we give it up for the woo? Oh my God. This is beautiful. All right, all right. Thank you, thank you. Look at the outfits. Wow. Good job, good job.
Who else can I call? I'm in need of someone I can lean on. 'Cause when
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wait, the chiefs, can the chiefs come back and take a picture here, please? Can the chiefs just come back and take a picture? Where's the queen? They had a queen, yeah. Do me a favor, Josiah. Can you all join this picture? Yes. Golda, please join this picture. Edith, please join the picture. This is a beautiful one. Come on. Hurry up. There's still some joining. Join the picture. I love it. Good job. Yeah, Princess Isla, I love it. Good job. Good job. Good job. Okay, we still have the Manu dance. We still have the menu dance, so don't go anywhere. Hello? You said it's what kind of car? A gray car. Hello, anyone has a gray car at the back there that you're blocking another car? If you parked this way behind here that you're blocking another car, a gray car. If you're blocking another car. Okay, is the Bayangi dance ready? All right. Yeah. Huh? Manu dance. All right, the Manu dancers are ready. They are ready. All right. Oh, who is that climbing? Huh? Yeah. The Manu dance, please.
Oh no! Petit. Petit Vomanyo. Vomanyo Manchoko Yohomot. Special dedication to Manu sons and daughters all around the world. Seseko champion Arab money. Alvis, Searchlight Schools, Jonaya Properties. Executive Director at Global Think and Tank Africa, Joachim Marie, Mosting London. Dr. Asaf Akibe Baby, Dr. Henshaw Ebari, Desmond Ashu, Mecca, Rambo Mix de Dubai, Montai Bari. Money on the dance floor. President Daflo. Mr. Ebot. Oh no. Eno Ross. Water. Zidane. Houston, Texas. US. Eno Soro. Mama wa. Boredaji. Atadas Williams Bison. Nengorai Gina Bison. Business Gurus. Houston, Texas. Eriti never. Mama is a baby manga. Ne ashu Jim. Varo vese. 5e tiva tive kive tege manyo rambe. Vese va kwai. Oh no! Woye. Achumanga. Woye. Achumanga. Woye. Achumanga. Woye. Achumanga. Achumanga. DJ Manas, Benel Tabia Bonkwai, Adax Petroleum, Montagbar, Commandant Bison, Customs, Takungasa, Maxi Manor, Bangakangari, the Golden Voice.
All right, everybody, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we are done for tonight. Thank you for being part of this event, and thank you for coming so that we can together fight against racism. We're so grateful for your support. We're so grateful for you braving the weather to be here today. Thank you, and we pray that the Lord will bless you. Thank you, and we wish you a safe journey back home. Thank you so much, and a happy rest of your day.